Should be the third.
Yo, alright. We're getting there on the whole intro thing.
Are we live?
Yeah. Welcome to Keepin Spiel. There's a few things before we actually get started. This is the last time we're going to be live streaming from this YouTube account. It'll be switched over to our actual YouTube account after the next podcast. So we'll have that. We'll have the YouTube account that none of you subscribe to, by the way. Just throwing that out there. There's 2 subscribers, but one of them's me, so I don't know.
Oh, damn. I was kind of pumped that. Not pumped, but it's like dope, too. It's a start.
Right.
It's
like 2. We're about to be up, like, we're going to double that real quick. We're going to double that real quick.
I'm going to make 100 YouTube accounts.
We've been stuck at 2, dude. Hard 2. Yeah, we got some followers on Instagram thanks to some well-placed hashtags on my part.
Hashtags. Hashtag hash browns.
Right.
Yeah, hashtag that.
I had some American fries today. Not hash browns, but American fries. It's basically just big-ass potatoes, hash browns. What do you mean? What does that mean? There's no actual, like...
Yeah.
Right. We don't have enough subscribers yet to make a custom URL. So
yeah. So yeah, you gotta do like
we need 100 subscribers
to do your own,
to have a custom URL to make it easier for you to find our podcast to subscribe. So we need 100 of you motherfuckers to basically just fucking go ahead and subscribe. It costs you nothing. Just by the way, I know subscribe sounds like it's gonna cost you money, but it's a YouTube account. It costs nothing. Like you just hit subscribe and then we benefit. So you should just do that for us.
And you benefit. Trust me on that.
Right, yeah, you'll benefit. You'll get some good conversation.
Yeah, your ears will benefit for sure, and your brain.
Right.
So tell everybody. Yeah, number 15. I don't know how to say that in Spanish, but
yeah.
Uno
5.
Yeah.
Oh,
we got it. That's it. That's about it. Yeah, so
you must have that happened before.
So that's a new thing then, the 100
Yeah.
subscribers. Damn.
Must be new now.
Fancy.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I feel like I should just hook you up with a mic next podcast, dude, because that's like every time you say something to us, we're just like
pause.
right.
But
There's not much you can do about that. I'll just try to stay away from it. But we decided we're gonna pretty much spend this whole fucking 2 hours talking about last night's episode of Game of Thrones. So we're basically live on Podcasterly Rock right now.
Podcastery Rock. I'm in the process of writing a song for Podcastery Rock. So it doesn't.
Got a couple more weeks, dude. So let's get it going.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any instrument. That's kind of a problem.
Oh yeah, you
I
had
got
my
the
acoustic
voice.
guitar that you borrowed years ago. Where's that?
What guitar?
My acoustic that you borrowed.
Sold
years?
it. Sold it. Gone. Auctioned it off. $4. Yeah, I know, but I need some fucking medieval instruments.
Oh yeah.
Those are pretty cheap.
What's like I don't even know any like that would be fitting. Like
A harp?
harpsichord, fucking
A
a theremin.
theremin?
Thurman Merman.
Theremin. A theremin. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know too many instruments past the guitar.
Right.
What was that?
I know there's a lot of instruments that look like a guitar that aren't, for whatever reason. We won't talk about those, though. Mainly because I don't have enough information on them, really. That's really what it is.
Yeah. I'll bring your guitar next week. Now I'm going to spend the next 6 days fucking cleaning it and putting new strings on it. Just like polishing it and bring it back. Like, yeah, man, totally been taking care of it.
Right.
It's been a long time, I know, but like, hey, man, where's the other stuff? Like, what other stuff? Like a gig bag? Yeah, I know. It's just like, in the funny scenario, like a gig bag, the fucking capo, the fucking.
Yeah, I don't really know where my capo. I have a bunch of capos. They're all gone. I have at least 4 of them. They're all gone. Every single one of them. You guys
4
know
of
what a
them?
capo is? Any of you fucking laymen out there? You know what a capo is, huh?
You okay? Yeah, I'm writing a song, so it might just be me singing because I don't want to get flagged for using somebody else's music because that's, I guess, not cool to do is use somebody else's song.
It's the only option. Sing or use somebody else's music.
How long has that been around? Flagging motherfuckers since YouTube blew up?
Yeah, like it's been real heavy recently because of, I don't know. People want to, I don't know, make sure people don't steal their stuff. I don't know.
It's not like we're making money off of it.
Right. That's like the actual stipulation. Like if you, I don't know how it works though. It's like if you intend to make money from this, you can't use it. But if you don't intend to, you can until you monetize it. I don't know how it works.
How do they catch people? Like we use a song.
Computers.
Computers?
Yeah, they just run through like pretty much every video that's uploaded is ran through like some basically like a filter that checks for stuff
Just
like
does
that.
it real quick and shit.
Right.
Where are those computers located at?
I
You get a fucking
think it's Skynet.
like the Terminator.
Where was Skynet even at? Was it California?
Yeah, that was LA.
Fuck LA. Never been there. Yeah, just pour a bunch of water on the motherboard and stuff.
We'll just do that.
Yeah.
Just spill coffee on it.
Or you just fucking
Then
control
we'll
alt
just
delete.
sneak in a bunch of fucking songs that we don't own.
I'll
Do a
bring.
podcast.
I'll steal a case of lemons from work and we'll slice them and we'll just rub them on the fucking. Get that citrus in there.
You know that shit's it's deadly to computers.
Lemon juice.
Oh yeah, the acid just
Oh,
eats
yeah.
away.
See, I know technology. You know anybody that hook up a soundbar?
What's that, Dan?
I think you can use music in your videos.
Just speak up. So
I think you can use music in your videos as fair use, the fair use policy.
well, I don't know what that means though. A fair use policy.
The fair use policy is like,
Just being like, I don't own the rights to this.
right, like, I don't own this. I'm not claiming to own it.
I don't intend to monetize it.
You can, well, that's different. But you can like parodies fall under fair use.
Right.
And I watch a video or a vocal coach on YouTube that watches suggested videos to her. Like she was watching Tool videos and whatever. So she's sitting there playing whole Tool songs.
Right.
The Irish chick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her do "How Would Be Thy Name." But
Yeah. So like she's not getting flagged.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, man.
yeah,
This isn't working.
With what?
uh,
What are you typing from? I don't know what that is. YouTube?
yeah.
Mom's chatting too.
Alright, well, let's... I don't know. I don't want to put too much focus on fucking production issues currently. Fuck it.
Yeah.
What can we do?
Yeah, I don't know. That shit's, it's lame. I get it. Like, I get it to an extent, but like, when shit gets flagged, it's like we're not really making money off of it. And then if, with like the podcast, so playing the music on something that's making money, I can understand them being like, hey, but at the same time, like, yo, we're not making money. If you want us to send into a W-2 and show you or
Right.
something.
Right. I don't know how it works, man. I don't know if it's just like, like maybe the consideration is like, yeah, you may not have made money off this, but you like this may have helped you build your platform at some point for you to eventually make money.
Oh,
off of,
okay.
you know what I mean? But I don't know if that's the case. But that's the only way I could think of it logically why that wouldn't be. Why that's the reason.
Maybe we could just get like 10 artists, musicians that are just straight up rip-offs, and then be like, hey, well, you're a rip-off. That's your
Right.
platform. So Led Zeppelin, I'm looking at you.
Jim wants to know if this is live.
Yeah, it was definitely live.
Definitely live. You can tell
We
because we're
live,
late.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Bill O'Reilly.
I don't know what that means.
Right, I don't know what that means.
Fuck it. He groped a bunch of women.
And then like left messages on their fucking shit.
Yeah.
Didn't was that him? Yeah.
Oh. Fucking remember the Pat O'Brien shit?
I don't think I do. What?
So he left those voicemails on like the interns.
That's what I was thinking of then.
Yeah, he left
Right.
the he. I don't think he was like physically harassing, but like he was harassing.
He was just like,
Dude, he was. I'm real quick. I'm gonna go on my phone to find. I hope there's like a what's that called? The like when you go to court and the lady's typing that thing out and
like a
extract.
stenographer?
Yeah,
Stenographer,
but like
yeah.
the when they review what that person said,
Oh, like they just like when they
that
like,
paper's called something like
Oh, yeah, the transcripts.
transcripts.
Right. The
Excripts?
classic fucking Chris Hansen fucking.
Yeah, the transcripts.
That's his weapon of choice, dude. The transcript.
Yeah, but he left that voicemail and he was just like, yeah, just want to get together again and just, do a bunch of coke and just fuck.
Yeah.
Because it's if you don't know who Pat O'Brien is, just Google him because it's
That's what I was thinking of when I thought it was Bill O'Reilly or whatever. But,
Pat O'Brien
right.
with Entertainment Weekly or whatever that show was. But, yeah, dude, he had to, Pat O'Brien. I Googled Pat O'Brien and it's the lead guitarist for Cannibal Corpse. That's pretty cool that he's doing that now. Yeah, man, the voicemails came out and he had to quit his job and stuff, and that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Hey, man, don't be a goddamn creep. You know.
I mean, he was a creep before that came out.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Just like physically.
yeah.
Just he's like, So yeah, I mean, I'm glad I got the Pat O'Brien thing out of the way.
Right.
Been fucking holding that in since I left last week.
Right. I'm glad I snuck that Chris Hansen fucking joke in there.
The transcripts, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, this
If
is where
Chris Hansen was in fucking Game of Thrones, dude, he would have went to Gendry like, he'd be like, can you make these transcripts like Dragonglass or?
So I don't recognize the accent. It's like I
What
saw
you have to
you.
see, Gendry?
Why don't you pull up a stool? I saw you in that scene where you came out of the darkness.
It's actually, you said here that you had sex with 3 women since the Red Woman, and we determined that that was a lie. I like how he turned into Maury too. He's
Yeah.
like Maury. Basically, Maury is kind of like Chris Hansen, dude. He's kind of got transcripts of his own
Mm-hmm.
with fucking truth behind the claims.
Dude, that shit, To Catch a Predator, after it was done, I don't know if it was a full reason why it was done or for whatever reason it ended, but yeah, there was like a legal thing going on. They were like judges and shit after a while. They're like, hey, you're kind of committing a crime.
Right, you're like,
You can't really do that technically. Like, I know these guys are like pervs, but like the legal process is like they kind of
it's because they couldn't convict all of them because of what like
technicalities. Like, I know these guys are pieces of shit,
right.
but the like if you got pulled over, quote unquote, and you had like coke in your car,
And they found it, and they're charging you with a felony for possession of cocaine. And then they reviewed the dash cam, and the judge was like, yeah, you had no reason to pull him over,
Right.
so we have to throw it out.
Right.
It's kind of like,
that with like, hey, you're kind of like,
It's entrapment.
yeah. So I don't know what state it was. It was probably like Florida, because Florida's really fucking shitty.
Right.
The judges were like, hey, man, the guy's on my bowling team. Can't put him in jail. Like, sir, we just wrote that down in the transcript. Like, shh, we better throw it out. Case dismissed.
That's funny. Who's fucking in the chat here, dude?
Yeah.
Shut.
Word. Are you just giving them info for us? Well, all right, cool. Because we can't read. Normally we have like a browser up with the chat that we can see, but for some reason it's bugged out because this program fucking sucks. So we got no chat. We got like we can see like the preview window for the actual output of the stream, but it's too far away to actually make out the words that are on there. But yeah, dude, we're about to get into some goddamn spoilers here. So if you watch Game of Thrones and aren't caught up, I would say just don't change the channel. Just mute us so we got viewers. Just mute us. Don't change. Don't leave.
Dude, honestly, like, before I used to get pissed when I'd go on social media and people would spoil it. Or not Game of Thrones, but the just shit in general. And it was like, get super pissed. And then as I got older, it's like, what am I going to do? Fucking get pissed off at people that I don't even talk to anymore? You know?
Right.
And just be like, well, it's like, whatever.
Right.
So you just got to kind of be smart about it. So, like, yeah, spoiler alert, but at the same time, like, fucking get with it, man.
Right.
But don't, if you're watching, don't just mute us.
Yeah.
And don't put subtitles on.
It's not a spoiler if the fucking show's been out for fucking... It's on its 8th season, and you're just now, like, worried about it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a spoiler. Sorry, dude. But, yeah, technically it is, if you want to get technical.
Spoiler is such a shitty word.
Yeah.
Like, if you use that, it's like, oh, spoiler. You fucking piece of shit. You spoiled it.
Alright, so... I didn't do screenshots of this episode, which... Basically because there's, like, not a lot of, like, notable scenes. It's just, like, a big battle with some random scenes throughout and, like, randomly, sporadically in the middle of it. It's just, like, a huge battle scene, really. So it's kind of hard to break down the way we did the last episode.
Also, I tried looking for pictures for us to use, and not too many.
Right.
Not too many clear ones.
Yeah, that's one of the only, like, complaints I have about the majority of the battle scene was that it was pretty much like I don't know, it was hard to follow a lot of it, really, to be honest, because it was dark. But it was a lot of like fucking quick up close shots, like super fast motion, like I don't know.
There when the episode started, it was clear, like quality, and then it started like 5 to 8 minutes in, it started getting like darker and shit. And when the battle scenes actually started, when it got on, I was like, my TV fucked.
Right.
I was like, because there was like almost like a white shadow over motherfuckers during the battle scenes, in the darkness and shit.
Right.
There was light, but like at the same time, it was just like a white glow almost. And I was just like, what the fuck is? I was like, my TV's all fucked up, man. I was like, come on.
First time for this.
I was like, come on, give me a break, man. HBO, $15 a month. Subscribe. Anyways, dude, I got food on my way home.
Yeah.
And I was like, fucking gonna just munch and watch this fucking shit. And got home, went in the living room and just sat, started to like unwrap my food and had the intro going. And as the episode started, I was just kind of watching it and looking down, unwrapping food, and like and then when everything was set, my food, I looked up at the screen, and like the tension was just like 30 seconds in. The tension, people were moving around inside of Winterfell, and then outside they did that shot of like all the Unsullied, and then in front of them all the Dothraki soldiers, and then they did like a far shot, like even a further shot, and I was just like, I had that feeling in my stomach. I was like, ooh.
Right.
It's like, I can't eat right now. Like, I don't think a show has ever done that to me, where I was just like I pushed my burger to the front. I was like, hold on.
I was like, oh, wait.
Yeah, man.
But, dude, what a way to start off the episode by bringing Melisandre back.
Yeah.
And then she just lights all their swords up, dude. What a fucking cool thing to do, dude. I was like, hell yeah. Here we go, dude. This is a fucking dope way to start off the episode. So basically, the Red Woman comes back and she pretty much lights the Dothraki swords on fire, like every single one of them with like some kind of weird magic spell. But dude, it's like such a fucking cool scene. and then the tension builds, and for whatever reason that is completely beside me, they just haul ass. I know they're like fucking savage warriors, like they're not like the most civilized of any of the fucking armies that are at Westeros.
Basically, like the
Westeros
Mongols of
Right.
Game of Thrones. They're just like, let's go and rape and
Right.
kill. Dude, like before that, when she came out of the darkness and shit, I had a couple of things going in my head, but the most not realistic, but the one that really was what I was thinking as that, because it was just a figure coming out slowly,
Right.
and for some reason I was like, yo man, is that Ben John?
Right. Dude, I thought that
Yeah.
same thing too, dude.
I was like, dope, he's
Right.
coming back. And then I saw her, like, you know, I was like, oh, all right. And then she's past Grey Worm, and I can't say it, but that greeting, and
Yeah.
Bravosi?
Barbagulis or whatever.
yeah, and he said it back, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, does he know that language? And then I started thinking about like where he was from, and like I almost
Picked up my phone to go Google it, and I'm like, no, fuck it. I was like, just forget it. You know, we'll see what happens. Basically, what I was telling myself. But that fucking before she appeared, it was like 7 minutes of just like
shots of different parts of Winterfell, different parts of the armies, showing where like Jaime and Brienne was, tension, and fucking showing Ser Jorah with the Dothrakis, basically front line,
Right.
more tension. And then she shows up, and then she does that, grabs one Dothraki's sword, and then all of them lit up, and it was just like such a fucking like so well written of an idea, and kind of fucked, because it was like, oh dude, one, the Dothraki soldiers are fucking savages. They're the most ruthless fucking soldiers in that show probably. And then now they got flaming swords. It's like, oh dude, a little bit of hope.
Right. But before that happens, it's like, why do you have, like, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't a planned thing. She showed up and did that. Why do you have your front line, like the front line of your army, be an army that has nothing that actually kills the dead? Like, up until that point, until she lit their swords, they didn't have any, like, they wouldn't have done anything, dude. Like, not that they did, but they had nothing. Like, they didn't have dragon glass shit. They just had their swords, you know, their whatever those are. Like, what kind of fucking dumb shit is that, dude?
I didn't really think about that one, huh?
Right.
And then so the writers give you that hope, and then it's like, okay. And then yeah, like you said, they just fucking haul ass.
Which is weird. Why do you do that? I know, like, I don't know. Why
Yeah.
would you do that?
Yeah,
I don't know why you would do that, dude.
I mean, I'm not Napoleon Bonaparte, but I feel like in battle you kind of want to treat it like a fight, like wait for that counterpunch, wait for
Right.
them to make that move. But
Right.
I don't know. Maybe they were cold. They were like,
Right. We need to get this blood flowing here.
yeah, like, come on. Forgot my hand warmers inside.
Right.
And then yeah, they give you that little hope, and then they start hauling ass and do the fucking editing. Whoever edited that shit, props. They had the shot of them leaving, and then they did the far shot from Dany and Jon Snow's POV. They're on like a mountain far as fuck away, or a hilltop, whatever. And you just see all these like soldiers moving with their lit up swords, getting closer to the darkness, but you still see the fire on their swords, obviously. And then they go back to a shot of the front line, the Dothrakis, getting closer, and then you see that kind of like fog, mist, whatever, of when the White Walkers are coming, and just like it was so fast, like real quick, you saw something, or you saw the army of the dead, and it cuts back to the Dothrakis, and then it shoots back out to the hilltop scene, and then just like slowly like
You just
flame
see
out,
right.
the flame going out,
Flames.
flame going out,
extinguish.
and you're just like, that little bit of hope, you kind of just
Right.
fucking threw that out the
I was like,
window
here we
real quick.
go. This is gonna suck now.
And that was the part of the entire episode I was thinking about. That was probably top 3 where I was just like, fuck, man. And
Right.
like, especially being off rip, I was like, fuck, this is not going good. And then, because it was just that shot, like that fucking like ridiculous shot of everything, like all the flames going out. And then they showed the POV from the Unsullied, and then like the Northerners, and
I like that one little fucking like the one glimpse you get of the Army of the Dead when they do that, it's like you basically just see like a fucking giant like just swipe away at the front line when they're coming in, dude. I was like, damn.
Yeah, dude, just
That's crazy.
And then they like after that they didn't really waste any time. The Dead, they just fucking stormed, and that shit was. Dude,
that shit was so cool when they fucking ran up because you could just see them running over the crowd. Like, they were just like, dude, like, crowd killing, dude. It was, it was
dude,
dope,
just fucking running on top of dudes, like, at a fucking,
tight.
like, at a hardcore show in, like, 95.
Right.
Like, dude gets on stage and just starts running over people. So the White Walkers were doing that. Didn't see any Madball t-shirts, though.
Right.
I don't know, man. Yeah, so then the actual visually the actual battle ensues after the Dothrakis. Oh yeah, Jorah retreated with like a couple of horses and like 4 Dothrakis out of like, I don't know, 10,000 maybe? 5,000, somewhere around there.
Wait, how many Dothraki?
Yeah, was it less than that?
I don't know how many died in that fight when they took out the Lannisters, but they made it seem like almost like they just dominated because they were like at the it was in season 7 or whatever, and then that's when Jaime comes back and he's like,
Gold Road or some shit battle.
One of them says to him like, yeah, you people can't fight or whatever.
Yeah.
To Tyrion or whatever, not Jaime, sorry. But they painted a picture like they just got slaughtered, and they had 40,000 of them before that. There was 40,000 Dothraki before that.
So probably like before that battle with Jaime and Bronn and shit. Right. Shit, let's just say 25,000 were running into that darkness. That's kind of fucked, man. Like, hey, what do we do? Just run and just into the darkness. Like, yeah, you're going to be there, right?
The funniest thing is nobody told him to do that either. It was just like, oh, let's just do it. Like Jordan, like, who was supposed to be commanding them? Jorah? Right. Did they show him being like, yeah, let's do this?
They just
did it, I think.
Again, I haven't been in any wars or battles, but usually I think this, like, the general like points out the sword and or says something. Right. These fucking Mongols are just like
Braveheart. He had a nice speech before he did it, but
he was about to give a speech in their native language. He's like, oh fuck.
It's like, Jorah, you're a cock, and they just kept going.
Oh, Jorah. Yeah, dude. Oh man, when the fucking White Walkers were coming, I didn't really realize how bad this was, but I think the Unsullied should invested in maybe better weapons.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I feel like that's the reason that they were able to hold the line so well, because of their classic fucking like
the reach
and the fucking And
I get that. Right. I get that part for the first, like, I don't know, in that kind of battle, probably 10, 12 rows of soldiers.
Right.
But then it's like,
well, you can't really do one-on-one with that, man.
Right.
You gotta think about, like,
at least up like close quarters. You can't. Right.
So they're just kind of like,
right.
Fucking straight sacrificing themselves.
The only thing I could think about though, the whole time they were holding the line, was just Toto, dude. That's the song that was in my head. Is that hold on line?
Love isn't always. Love isn't always.
Love isn't always on time, but I tell you who is, dude. Arya. But we'll get to that.
She's awesome. Thick brows.
Yeah.
So yeah, they start fighting, and then like it's just fucking pandemonium, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, right off rip,
wild, dude.
right off rip, I thought Brienne was dead.
Yeah.
Cause she got tackled and shit. I was like, oh, see ya.
I was like, there's a lot of scenes where she was just looks like she's about to go under, and like,
yeah.
I like
then you would see her.
I like how like near the end, like you just see like all the main characters still fighting in like the courtyard or whatever in Winterfell, and it's just like, dude, like Tormund's on like stacks of bodies dude, and like, it's like brutal, dude. Like, Jesus.
Oh man.
I still don't think, as far as like cool battle scenes go, I still don't think that top Battle of the Bastards, even though it was like them finally fighting the Army of the Dead, and that's just cool on its own. Like, I don't think, as far as like how it looked and how it turned out, I don't think it was as good of a battle scene. But as an episode, it was like much better.
Yeah.
Battle of the Bastards. But like as far as the war scenes go, that Battle of the Bastards is like so dope, dude. Like, I don't think they can top it. They got like one more battle scene to be able to top it, dude. And I feel like I don't know if they can, dude.
I felt the same way. That Battle of the Bastards was like a better battle, and I'm kind of leaning towards, like, I don't know, personal opinion. I'm kind of leaning towards, like, maybe it felt like a traditional battle, like
Battle of the Bastards.
yeah, realistic.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
gave it that human element,
Right.
and then watching this, it's kind of like
It was like we're just fucked now.
Yeah,
what
it's
it felt
dead.
like, right?
it was more like I did not have that sinking gut feeling during Battle of the Bastards, and I think that was just because, like, they were fighting the North, the living was fighting the dead, so it was different.
Right.
It was like,
I get what
like,
you're saying.
there's not too much, like,
There's
a lot of fuckery that can go wrong. Like, you can just raise all the dead again.
right.
With that, with Battle of Bastards, that pit wasn't, it's like, you're dead.
Right.
But, like, I did like the Battle of Bastards actual battle better, and because it was more,
Well, for one, it was just more visible, so that helps.
Yeah, that
Right.
it was more of like, this time it's personal. Like, it felt, the
right.
Jon Snow and then the Ramsay and then
Right.
like the lineage between them, like with the families and shit.
Right.
All the betrayal. It was that, and then it was like the human element between that battle was just like, as it was going on, you saw the tactic that Ramsay was using,
Right.
sacrificing his own men
Right.
to fucking using his own, like, just pitching arrows, killing his own men, knowing it because that's his strategy, and then just where the corpses lay would fucking surround them,
Right.
and then they would move forward and basically fuck them. This, it was kind of like, there's probably no really big, like, strategy with the White Walkers and the Night King. Like, there was,
Right.
obviously, but
There was until they realized what the fuck happened. And then it was just like, hold the line while we fucking retreat. That was the only plan at that point. And
Yeah.
Once it started going down, they were just like, you know what? We gotta just back up here, dude.
yeah, it was really just like, oh fuck, well, yeah, like you said, it's like, we're kind of fucked. Let's see how far we can get.
Right.
But with the fighting the dead, I liked it because I thought that episode was dope because it was like, leading up to it was like, yo man, it's gonna be like an hour of a battle scene, and then like really thinking about it like a couple days before, it was like, I hope it's just not an hour of fighting because that's dull.
Right.
And I mean that, like,
I know what you're saying.
straight hour,
Just
it's
one
like,
note of just
yeah,
like,
just
constant fighting.
yeah. But they did it so well that they broke it up with the editing and stories. They like would follow different characters, split it up evenly. So while the whole battle's going on, they would just split it up between the different characters, and Theon and Bran, and then Jon and Dany, and then
Arya and the
Arya.
library and stuff.
Yeah, that when it eventually got to that, and then the court, the yard in Winterfell, and then on the wall, and then like as it starts to like when they start getting fucked and the White Walkers are advancing over the wall and breaking through the doors, it changed all those different characters that they were editing through the story or through the battle in a different scenario now. Now they're not on top of the fucking wall fighting them off. Now they're in the courtyard, and then they're inside, and then Arya, like you said, is running through the library and the halls, and she bumps into.
Yeah, it did feel like, even though it was like mayhem, it did feel like, all right, this is before, this is the battle before we retreat. This is the battle after we retreat.
Mhm.
This is the battle fighting them off the walls. This is the battle once they're in the walls. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it just breaks up. And it gives you different like beats for the whole thing, makes it a little more like, I don't know. Seems like there's a progression to the battle instead of just being like, oh, it's a big ass battle the whole episode. Like,
So yeah, then basically during that, or right before it got shitty, like super shitty. Dude, oh yeah, right off rip, fucking that shit sucked. I didn't know what to think when Davos was giving the signal to torch the just in case trenches, because of the fog and shit that comes with them. The weather. Let's just call it the weather.
right.
Bring that cold ass weather so they can't see the signal. Jon and Dany to light the trenches. So yeah, they get the Red Woman to
Right.
Melisandre.
Yeah, that was real cool.
That was a lot of tension right there too.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, your God's failing. Your God's failing.
Yeah.
And she's
My
like,
girl, as soon as that shit lit up, my girl was like, I bet they believe in the Lord of Light now. I was like, yeah. They better.
and then the
She walked out of the Winterfell to light that shit slow as fuck.
Right,
Like,
I know. It's like, hurry up.
Fucking, what are you doing? She's just like walking, like, look, light the shit.
Right.
So she got to it and started saying the prayer, like holding it. And then after like 2-3 times, that's when the editing starts splitting, like White Walkers fucking battling the first few lines of the Unsullied, shooting back to Melisandre still doing the chant or whatever, or the prayer, in the back and forth.
Cut in half all around her. She's
Yeah.
like fucking trying to get the fire started.
Every time they come back to, after the third time of the cut back and forth between her and the Unsullied, like after the fourth or fifth time, it was just like, all right, now people are getting cut down by White Walkers.
Right.
And now she's stuttering and shit. And I was like, dude. I paused it. I'm like, we're fucking 25 minutes in, man. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Played it again and resumed it. And she's like, and that shit got lit.
I thought it was like that chant from fucking Child's Play.
Oh, how we do
Hey,
it.
Dewey Dambala. Give me the power, I beg of you.
Oh, Ray.
But yeah, and then
They got it lit.
yeah.
And then the White Walkers were just standing there all fucking...
Hold on, before you get to that, like right after they get it lit, that's when they pretty much show the Night King showing up on the dragon, and then he like does like this thing. He goes like this or something. I can't remember what the gesture was, but
He was like, hey.
as soon as he does this,
He's like, I'm here.
right.
He was smiling and shit. He was like, girlfriend, that's not gonna work. But yeah, go ahead.
He was like, he does this, and then the army of the dead starts sacrificing themselves into the fire. So
Yeah.
did he do that? Did he make them just start doing that? Is that what that was?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But,
That or he's got like
right, he's just like, hey.
carpal tunnels. He's like, ooh, this dragon's really messing my nails up.
I'll tell you what though, dude. Considering he's basically ice, he's got some. I mean, 0 fall damage for the Night King, dude. I mean, how far did he fall from the dragon, dude?
20,000 feet.
Right.
Yeah. So shit, the trenches get lit, and then I think after the trenches get lit, they shot back to what's the garden, the woods of Whispering Gardens,
Yeah, Whispering Woods or whatever.
the tomato garden
Right.
of the Lords. I love the show, and I can't like remember like things that are pretty relevant. I'm like, yeah, we'll just call it the tomato garden. The fucking olive branches. Yeah, they shot back to it, and then Bran, they were all just quiet, and Bran was like, I'm going to go now.
Yeah, it's all right.
Eye
Cool.
rolls. And then the raven, all those ravens kind of go to where the Night King's at.
Right.
And then the Night King's just like,
Right.
And then the White Walkers were just like face planting into the
Right.
fire and
It's
just
just
making
funny
that
whenever,
bridge.
like the first one to do it, he just like
He was just like,
lays down in it.
he's like, eh. He's like, whatever.
like fuck it, I'm cold anyways.
He's like, I don't really like my boss. Just like,
No room for fucking growth in this company.
no fucking benefits.
Right.
There's
Definitely no health insurance.
no set schedule.
Right.
No fucking vacation time.
You gotta walk a lot too.
Just walking. What are we walking
Where
for?
we even going, dude? Brought us down here to just die, dude. Cool.
Like, I don't even know these people. You want me to kill them? You do it.
So
We get on that
basically-
dragon.
So basically, fucking, they pretty much start sacrificing themselves so they can get over the fire, the trench of fire, so they can get over the walls. What's the next like notable thing that happens? Dragon fight, dude. First of all, like, they fucking collided at some point. Like, how? I know it's like foggy and like there's a like real snowy up there and
Yeah.
the sea and like clouds and whatever. But dude, there's fucking 3 dragons and it's a huge sky and you run into one of them. Like, how you gonna run into a dragon on a dragon, dude? Like, give me a break. They were just like, oops.
Oh, whoopsies. Dude, yeah, I didn't know where they were going, man. They were just all over the place with that shit, dark as fuck. I was just like looking, I was like, and then they collided. I was like, no, I guess.
Right. Guess that can happen.
Yeah. But yeah, the next notable thing I think was just full of a lot of tension with now the White Walkers are over the fucking botched plan B of the fire trenches. And now they're just so many of them, they're just like climbing up on top of each other, getting over the wall.
It's like World War Z.
Yeah. And so, yeah, Tormund, he's in the courtyard fighting. And then Jamie was on the wall with, now Brienne was on the wall, right? No, she was in the courtyard too because she was on the
courtyard too.
Yeah, so they split up at some point. And Davos was up there just kind of like
Doing
in that
nothing, dude.
just kind of like in that like different parts of the wall would just have like that little, I don't know.
The fucking watch area.
Yeah, the watch. And he was just kind of in there like, this shit done?
Right. He's like, man, dude.
Like, and he just like does
a
this.
lot of us are dying here. And then like that scene where he sees Arya just whack everybody who's on the fucking wall, and then he just like looks at her, and I was like, oh hell yeah, now he's gonna start fighting, cause like, you know what I mean, like some inspiration or something.
Yeah.
Like, and then nope, nothing. They
Yeah.
definitely foreshadowed that though by him saying multiple times in the last 2 episodes that he never has fought. Like for some reason they just made him talk about that a lot in the 2 episodes leading up to this.
Like how we can't fight.
Yeah, he's like, I
He's
survived
old
it.
and-
Like when they're talking about which battles they survived, and he's like, yeah, with no fighting experience. Like,
Yeah.
and he said something else too. Like,
Then dude, yeah, okay. So since when Arya was doing all that dope
Fighting skills with their battle stick.
right,
Just
whatever
call
you want
that.
to call it.
Whatever. And she just looked at Davos. I remember I'm like 90% sure that the very next scene was fucking the giant zombie
Yeah.
busting through that fucking door and showing little Lyanna Mormont, R.I.P., and just fucking swatting her to the side, and then it shot to a different scene of the battle, and I was just like, I paused. I was like, mother, what?
Yeah.
That's it?
Right.
You're just gonna do her dirty like
I
that?
thought the same too. I was like, that can't be it. But
Yeah.
it could be, I guess.
I had a pause, and I literally had the message written out. I was like, they're about to do Lyanna dirty like that? I was like, what the fuck, man? But I was like, hold on. I was like, just whatever. And I just fucking wanted to watch it and played it through. And I was just so bummed out because they didn't go back to her for another like 20 minutes or some shit. And it was a shot of the courtyard, and all of a sudden you just see her kind of get up all bloody and shit. I'm like, oh, I guess I didn't kill her.
Right.
And then she sees the giant zombie, and dude, badass little girl, bad as fuck, just starts running towards her, screaming at the top of her lungs, and he's just like,
Just picks her up like a little fucking.
starts squeezing her, and she's just like, right in the eye, motherfucker.
Right.
Kills the giant, and just the fucking giant, whatever, just basically dies again. And she dies too, but dude, she kept her
What
word,
a way
man.
to go out, really though.
Yeah.
The only thing the one thing about the Giants is I was like totally like, dude, we haven't seen them since like what was it, season 4 or whatever, when they were fighting on the wall or whatever. Like, we haven't seen them do anything. We've seen them since then.
I think it was that Hard Home episode. I think that was season 5, where they were where John goes with the with Tormund to where the that Skull King or not the
Yeah.
Skull King, but the fucking the
skeleton, the bone.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. Boner dude.
Yeah, whatever his name is, skeleton
Dead.
king,
Yeah.
boner man.
Yeah, Hard Home, that was that episode. And
Can't remember what the Giants even did to her. Oh yeah, he was like stomping on motherfuckers.
you stomp on him
Yeah,
and just
that's right.
fucking doing that shit. And then
But I just meant like, dude, like they made an emphasis on like when at the end of season 7 when they show like the whole army of the dead marching and you see the three 3 giants. So it's like, damn, they're gonna have to deal with 3 of these, and then they only dealt with 1. And they didn't show any more of them in the battle at all or anything. I know it's like expensive, but like, I don't know, man. Like, if you got 3 giants, like at least show me like 2 of them dying. Like,
Yeah.
at least show the other ones crumbling when they killed every one of them. At least
Yeah.
or something. Like,
The other 2 were like just late as shit.
yeah,
They're like, oh fuck, he's gonna be pissed. And they're like hauling ass. They're like actually running, and then when they all demise, they're just like, he's dead.
The only thing I could think about when Lyanna stabbed that giant in the eye was in the season 1 when old Nan's talking to Bran.
Yeah.
And she's like, there's a myth that the sky is blue because we all live inside the eye of a giant
Blue-eyed giant. Yeah.
And she's like, maybe we do or whatever. It's just like, I don't know, it's a cool
Yeah.
small little circle come in the story, One thing I didn't notice when I was thinking about that too is like the giant that they're referring to is called Macumber in the series. That's like the mythical giant that where everything lives in its eye or whatever.
Yeah.
And then House Umber is their sigil is like a chained giant, which is like
is it?
weird, yeah,
I
some
didn't
weird
notice that.
weird little connection there.
Yeah, so that was just badass, like, such a big character, because it would have been shitty, like, that's why I was so fucking pissed right off rip, it was just like, yep, I was like, wait, you built this little girl up, this character, like, as a bad motherfucker, and, like, that's kind of shitty to write her in like that, and then they obviously gave her,
they gave her a real cool death, for sure,
yeah,
and it's like, but at the same time, I could have seen them being like, this is the cruel reality that Lyanna Mormont ain't really gonna do shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could have seen that going that way too. I would have been fine with that. That's what I'm saying. I would have been like, oh man, they did her dirty, but I also would have been like, well, that's reality. Like,
honestly,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, honestly, like, if that was the route that they were truly gonna go with, and this sounds kind of fucked up, but if that was the route that they were gonna go with, that this is reality, Lyanna Mormont, a 9-year-old, in this probably the worst battle anybody could really be in. The whole reality thing, it's like, okay, but just swatting her, I feel like this is the fucked up part, is like, why don't you just rip her in half or something?
right.
Make it like more like,
If they didn't put the giant part in there, you're saying? If they just
if she
left
did,
it at her getting swatted away,
and then she's dead. It's
right.
like, okay,
At least show her like smashing her to bits or something.
yeah. And then that sounds really fucked up, but it's like, okay, it's already fucked up because she's a kid and she's getting murdered or killed by a giant. It's like, it's like, make it a little bit better then.
Right.
Like, I guess if you're gonna make it shitty, just where are you gonna draw the line?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I hear you on that.
That's weird. That's a show. Relax.
Right.
If anybody's just like, I didn't want some brutal or death for her, like, no. Like, if they were just gonna swat her off like that and be like, you're dead, like, fucking make it, like he said, a harsh reality.
I'll tell you what, for considering the like drastic fucking like scenario that really was, like, more people should have died. You know what I'm saying? There should be more main characters offed.
Yeah.
Honestly, in my opinion. But most of me was glad when they weren't. So it's kind of like, that's how you know the show is good, dude. When you know, like, odds are like totally against them, and you're like, man, more people should have died, but the characters are so well written that you're like, yeah, fuck, I'm glad they didn't go with the what should have done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm glad they didn't
Yeah, that.
It's hard
like,
to word it.
Like what you're saying, I feel. Okay, this giant battle with the fucking Night King and them, the dead, and you have 20 like significant characters in the same place. Like, think about it. Like, leading up to it, I feel like a lot of people that would talk to me or I would talk to them about the upcoming episode last night's everybody was just like, so who do you think's gonna die?
Right.
Because nobody's really thinking about past that, I think.
Right.
And it was just like, well, you would say a couple people, and everybody would say like at least one or two like top significant main characters. And then after watching the episode, it was like, that would have been really lazy if they did that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Kind of like poorly done. Like, oh yeah, I mean, we lost some Jorah, Theon,
right,
Ed, I mean, I know Ed wasn't like significantly in fucking every episode and stuff, but like
Yeah.
talking about a dude that has close ties to John and Sam, big characters since what, season 1?
Yep.
So it wasn't just like
All he
some
wanted was to
dude.
get burned alive, dude, and he was
Didn't
turned
fucking
into
do it.
a white, dude.
Didn't fucking do it. But I felt like if it was just like watching the episode fully last night and then thinking about the conversations having with friends about, well, who do you think is gonna die, it would have been like, that wouldn't have really been good, I guess.
Right. That's kind of like the thought I was trying to get out there.
Yeah.
It's like considering what that scenario was, more people should have died, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like it would have been, yeah. It sounds like it's just a poor idea to just get rid of that threat in the 3rd episode of the the final season. It just seems like now, dude, it just seems like there was this whole overarching story over all of it that pretty much painted the picture that nothing really matters on the throne doesn't matter. There's a more imminent threat on the way that's like more important, and like the whole thing to me was like people coming to realization about that and like changing their character in accordance to that, like being like, well, like, oh man, this is really what matters. Like, you see it with some of the characters that actually see the stuff go down before it happens. But like, I thought it was gonna be like this huge overarching thing where like, you know, you can't really escape it. It's gonna happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, your fight for power means nothing. But
Yeah.
it just turns out, hey, let's just get rid of that with 3 episodes left so we could focus on that stuff that I think it's really like, I don't know, I know there's a lot of stuff to wrap up in the story, and that's why it's like that, but like it just seems like a back to the drama, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
back to the normal shit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like you're saying, they lose Winterfell, and then they fucking somehow retreat south,
Right.
and then the threat of the dead is moving south.
Right.
Then it's kind of like for the writers or whoever is like, okay, now the North is retreating south. They gotta really try to like work together with Cersei and stuff. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, the
Right.
throne doesn't matter anymore. Like, now they
Right.
gotta really work with it. But they kind of like already blew their load with the fucking story that Cersei's just like, yeah, I'll do it, and they leave. They're like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not fucking doing
Right.
that. You're fucked. And at the same time, like, I kind of wasn't at the ending of the episode. I mean, we'll talk obviously more about like what goes on, but the ending of the episode, I wasn't like, I read a lot of people were just like, man, what the fuck, and I was just kind of like, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I totally am too at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it just feels like a whole lot of work to like create this overarching story. It's just gone now. But like, there's 3 episodes left. I know they're super good at wrapping things up and tying like ends together. So I know I'll be satisfied at the end. But it's just like, dude, I kind of really wanted that theme to be like a real thing, like at the end.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted it to be like the only person that could really break the wheel is fucking the Night King, because he just breaks the whole fucking wheel. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
He really was doing that. Yeah, I get what you're saying, and too, like, at the same time, I feel like if it would have been like the threat, like the throne doesn't matter, to like going into like the final episode, like it's an ongoing threat, then it's like, no, I feel like each episode that remains would be no room to really I don't know,
to tie all those
expose the fucking foreshadowing from previous seasons, because this
Right.
big threat is still going on.
Right.
So I feel like what the writers did, or whoever, was just like, okay, the first episode was almost like a montage of like things going on to catch everybody up. Some things were said, like the fucking John finding out and stuff like that, and then it panned back to King's Landing, and some shit was going on there, and then the Theon Yara thing. Like, that first episode now, after this third one, was kind of like almost a montage, and the second one was just a straight build-up
Right.
to this last night's episode.
Right.
So it
There's
almost
gonna be
felt like, it's only 6 episodes, obviously, but it felt like this is like a mini 2-part season.
Yeah. I could see how it would work itself out like that. for
Yeah,
sure.
because there is like a lot of questions that don't involve.
I think the real reason that shit happens is because, like, in the books, there's no like Night King. Like there's no like. That's like not really in the books. Like a leader of the fucking army of the dead, like marching south. That's not really. Most the main things that like the main threats in like the series come from Euron. So like, I feel like that's why they wrapped that part up.
Oh, he's even a bigger piece of shit in the book?
Yeah.
Oh,
for sure,
man.
dude. Like he rapes fucking Theon and Yara and shit. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
Jesus Christ. You fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Haggard. This is Euron Greyjoy, and I'm gonna rape my nephew.
Whenever you want, Taiki.
Yeah, seriously.
You watch Game of Thrones? Come talk about Game of Thrones after next episode, dude.
He put just kidding. He put LOLOL? JK, like, are you shitting on the podcast now? Like, you just, no, I'm just joking. Yeah, anytime Mondays. Anytime.
Yeah, anytime
Real
Mondays
quick,
at
I was like,
6.
anytime Mondays.
Yeah, anytime at Mondays after 6.
When we do it, anytime.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just too much. Like that's why I wasn't like a lot of people upset about the last night's episode, and I think a lot of people were upset about different reasons, not necessarily just like, oh, I thought it was just gonna keep going on,
Right.
like really spill into King's Landing and shit.
Right.
But
I totally see the need to wrap it up,
yeah,
but it just feels like, all right. Well, that was easy. Like, all right,
Yeah.
let's just go deal with Cersei, guy. It's like, I don't know.
And plus, I think it's what really has to do with it was, why the threat of the Night King wasn't gonna spill into 4, 5, and 6, was because it's like, okay, like if we do that, I feel like the showrunners and HBO were like, if we do that, we can't give you money for the Battle of Winterfell. You know what I mean? Because there's gonna be an eventual bigger battle.
Oh yeah.
So the third episode's battle would be kind of not as
I get what you're
intense.
saying.
And then, because they I feel like just like on a personal like business side,
Right.
the showrunners and HBO would be like, okay, well here's your budget. We read your guys' script and stuff or whatever, your story, your outline. This is your budget for this. But if Game of Thrones went to HBO like, hey, it's gonna spill in over. We still want to do a battle scene at Winterfell, and we want to spill it over going south to King's Landing, and have a battle there too. HBO would probably be like, "Yo, we'll give you some money for that battle at Winterfell. Ain't gonna be big." And that's what I mean. I'm not I'm not a writer, but I feel like the business side, and then whoever's writing and producing Game of Thrones would have been like, "Well, we had some pretty sweet ideas for the Battle of Winterfell, and we can't really do it with that budget." And HBO would probably be like, all right, well,
I feel like as big of a show as fucking Game of Thrones is, I feel like
it just they get broke.
Right.
Like HBO just goes under.
Right.
They're just like, well, whatever.
To be honest, they don't get like a huge budget considering, like, they $15 million an episode. Like they spent $15 million on that episode. If you think about, that's like a movie length pretty much, you know, and it's just like all battle scenes. $15 million to pull that off is crazy, dude. That's like super. Honestly, that's a lot of money.
That's
But
frugal.
that's super low budget, like for that kind of production. Dude. Right.
15 million.
Right.
Is it really that?
$15 million an episode. Yeah.
But that scene,
I don't know how they delegated it. Maybe they gave more to
Yeah.
episode or what, but like they got $15 million an episode to make this season.
Huh. Yeah. Damn, that's like a surprising number. Like not 15 million for like, say the first episode of season 8, but like the first but like last night's episode. I thought that bitch was like,
I'm gonna look.
$40 million.
Right.
Because that shit took like I think somebody was saying, or I read, maybe both. Somebody said it and I read it. Like 3 months to film, just like
Right.
the battles and shit, and they were doing that shit in Croatia.
If you think about it, dude, Avengers Endgame cost $350 million to make.
But they know they're gonna hit like $1 billion, just like in the first.
If you think about it, like, if you go see, I mean, when you see Endgame, if you do end up seeing it, you're gonna be like, oh wow, this really does look good. But if you look at the differences in cost, like $350 million for a 3-hour movie, or, you know, $15 million for this 2-hour episode that is like full of action. It's like,
Taiki says, what was that?
I don't know if that includes cast. I'm gonna actually look it up because I want to make sure it was 15 mil.
Taiki says, I think next episode are all feature length, and then under that, dude, that's crazy. You know, is that it includes cast because Cersei, Dany, Jamie, and Jon all make like 1.2 million an episode. So that's like 5 million for 4 characters an episode.
Right.
Huh. I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing I don't really know about shows and shit is like you hear the tops, like the fucking main star character of a show, and it's like this motherfucker makes 5 million an episode, and then what does everybody else make and shit, and that's why motherfuckers just straight up leave the show.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want me on for 6 seasons? Well, you're paying me fucking pilot show money still.
That's why it's like I can totally see their point. Why, like, I could see how somebody would make the argument like, yeah, why don't you just make less money so you can be on like one of the greatest shows ever? Then it's also like, oh yeah, take less money and then be typecast as the guy who was on Game of Thrones and hardly get work after that. I would try to make as much money making Game of Thrones as I can if I was an actor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're always going to be known as Jon Snow or, you know, whoever now, which sucks, but...
Dude, yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I wasn't too upset that how the episode ended, and because I was like, maybe that's the reason why it was like, and they still need, like, yeah, the drama and stuff, like there is a lot of questions to be answered and shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a writing process, and they'd be like, all right, we got this big threat still coming on, and we still got to do this. And I don't know, would it be if like the final 3 episodes feel rushed with everything with the
I
run
think
length?
it's going to be another build-up, battle, and then wrap-up. So it's basically going to have the same feel as the first, like you were just saying. Hey, thanks for the follow, Yoshi Lover.
Have you guys ever watched Rick and Morty? I have not. I've heard good things, but
I barely watch TV besides Game of Thrones and hockey.
Yeah, I think he's going to choke her out with his golden glove, dude.
Oh.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's for sure what's going to happen.
I think she's going to commit suicide.
She's going to... Right.
I think she's going to jump off the fucking...
Like Tolman?
Yeah. Because that's the one kid that she will not admit that, you know, she, like...
It's her...
She's, like, shitty. Like, she ignores it almost.
Right.
That it's her fault, and she's just kind of like...
Jamie was like, our son killed himself. What do you...
It was that wretched bitch. What was that wretched bitch's name again?
The old lady you're talking about?
Nah, she's a wretched bitch, but she's fucking sweet, dude.
You're talking about,
her granddaughter, Marjorie Tyrell.
Oh, yeah.
Babe alert.
Right.
Don't call her a
She's
fucking
like
wretched
in her
bitch.
40s, dude. You know
Marjorie
that?
Tyrell?
Like the
Actress?
actress, yeah.
Nuh-uh.
I swear to you, dude. We just looked it up, and have we seen them? No. I saw Infinity War, but, dude, I'm so far behind on those movies, like, I don't know.
I'm so far behind, I haven't started them.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah,
seen
no
it. We're
worries
not going to
about
talk
that.
about that. We're talking about Game of Thrones. So,
Yeah.
Yoshi Lover, I hope you love Game of Thrones as well, because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I appreciate the whole, like, Rick and Morty thing and all that, but we're not talking about that.
But yeah, so hold on, I'm looking up how old Marjorie Tyrell is. If I can Google how old is Marjorie Tyrell? Like I don't know her name, and I should know that, I guess. Natalie Dormer.
I'll tell you what, though.
Damn, she's 37.
Yo, Yoshi, that means you're caught up, right? Because we're talking about that last night's episode just before you get some spoilers here, even though we've been blabbing. Yeah, dude.
Showing. So yeah, Lyanna gets fucking crushed. And then what was the episode? They kind of were focusing somewhat on the Crips. No, they were focusing on.
She was in the Tudors. That show was actually really good, dude. I forgot about that show.
That was like a
King Henry
Showtime.
VIII or whatever.
So
I think that was on Showtime. Yeah, that show was pretty good, man. I should rewatch that shit.
The first time I heard about somebody mention the Tudors, I thought it was a show about a bunch of fucking like after school tutors. I was like, why the fuck would I watch that shit? Come on, Steve. You gotta focus on your grades. You're gonna get kicked off the football team. He's like, I am that football team. That's what I thought that show was about.
Kick me off.
And then somebody said it was about like England and
King Henry VIII, I think.
and his wife.
Yeah, a bunch of them.
Yeah, a bunch of them, honestly. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, hold on. Before we get back to the actual episode, I just want to say that the Night King looks so much cooler on a dragon than Danny or John, just because he's basically CGI too, you know? Like, it just fits better. It just looks better, dude. Like, looking at them on dragons cracks me up, dude, for some reason, dude.
I automatically, like, that episode, I kept thinking, I was like, I feel like I should be playing Winter Sun right now.
Right.
Just like, I don't know, man. And then I pulled up that album cover. I was like,
dude,
I'm gonna watch it.
That might be actually real dope to watch it to that album, but the score was so good for that episode, dude. Like,
it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really, like, got me fucking feeling it for sure.
Yeah, Night King didn't give a fuck on
Yeah,
there.
he didn't, dude.
He was like,
especially when he fell off. He's like, I'm not even holding on, dude. He's like, fuck yeah. He just let himself fall.
he's like, we're good.
0 fall damage, dude. He's been playing Apex.
He was checking his fucking pockets for his wallet. He's like, got it. Okay, before we get into the episode real quick, because I mentioned fucking Winter Sun. The first season that I watched, when Walsh gave me his box set or whatever, when I watched the first season, I was like, legit, I was like, I'm about to just listen to the first 2 Halloween albums to that first season, just see if it makes like a fucking, if it like goes with it, like I'm reading the lyrics and watching the show, I'm like, oh, they just straight up say Ned Stark in the fucking song. Like, nobody caught that?
That's funny.
They can't find any of the band members from Halloween. Like, they just fucking disappeared. They're like from the future and shit. Or the past.
I wonder if there's any, like how during that one episode there was like Mac from Always Sunny who had like a guest appearance. I wonder if there's any guest appearances in this last episode that nobody caught.
Fucking Danny DeVito just running in the back. Nobody caught it. He's wearing like the fucking vest from what was the second Batman? What was it called? Batman
Returns?
Right. Second Batman?
Right.
Batman number 2?
Right.
He's just in the back wearing like the super small vest. Because that movie was like from 89 or 91 or some shit. And he was fat then, but it's just funny it doesn't fit anymore.
Right.
He's just running in the back and somebody like paused it, like, it's too fucking dark to tell. Like, was that Danny DeVito? So yeah, the Hound had fucking PTSD, man.
Yeah.
He was just like, just fucking like a non-vet and shit. He's like, I've seen some things, man.
Right. He's like, I'm fucking done with this shit, dude. We can't beat this.
Yeah. I can't fucking say his name. Barrick
Dondarrion or whatever? Is that what it is? Dondarrion?
I just call him Barber Dondarrion.
Barrick.
Barrick. Yeah, Barrick was, he was like, Clegane, oh, we need you. And then just like, when fucking the Hound finally snapped, he was like, we can't beat him. He said something like, we can't.
Sad cunt.
Oh, no, he called him a whore.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I thought about it. I was like, he called him a whore. He's really giving up. Because that's not even clever for the Hound. He's usually.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Because, like, when Arya and the Hound were about to go in that pub or whatever.
Yeah.
He was like, Nito, what the fuck is that? He's like, that's the name of my sword. He's like, you named your sword? He's like, a lot of people named their swords. I was like, yeah, lots of cunts. Perfect.
But at that point, it was just like the Hound was so just like whatever, man.
Right.
He's been whatever since like the end of season 6, and now he's just like seeing everything with fire, and now he's just like,
you whore.
Right. He's like,
He's like, you poo-poo head.
Right.
Barrick's like, what? Did you just make up a new word? What's a poo-poo head? I know the word head, but poo-poo, what is that?
That was fucking such a dope scene, though. On him seeing Arya and Barrick just being like, "Yo, tell that to her."
Yeah.
And then he just like fucking kicks into gear, dude. Right.
He's
back
just
in
like, shit,
there.
little girl or little bird. No,
So
wait.
really
this
without
sounds like a
fucking-
bird.
Right.
They're sisters, whatever.
Really, without the Hound, dude, fucking Arya would not have fucking defeated the Night King.
Yeah. Yeah, it just all makes sense that it just would not happen.
One funny thing about that though is when Barrick is like pretty much like sacrificed himself. At least the cinematography fucking leads you to believe that he's blocking the doorway
Yeah.
and like they're gonna eat him, and then they're like, oh fuck. They're like, oh fuck, like we have to have him in the scene when Melisandre points out that he had a purpose and that he fulfilled it. So like he like makes it to the room with them, even though he's like blocking. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, go. Like, how'd you make it, dude?
Yeah, honestly, that whole scene after, real quick, when she was in the library by herself, fucking dope. And when she cut, like, towards the end of that scene, when she cut the corner and to get to the door, like, after she threw the book, and she real quick stabbed the zombie under the zombie chick's
Just, like,
jaw.
puked blood on her.
Yeah. That happened when she puked blood. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I rewatched it. And I was like, oh, like, because it happened so quick before she puked up the blood. I thought Arya just straight grabbed her by the neck.
Oh, and just like.
Yeah, because the fucking Dragonstone blade was all black,
Right,
and Arya
right.
was wearing black gloves.
Right.
So it just went like that real quick. And I thought she just real quick, like, grabbed her fucking neck or something. I was just like, oh, she's just bossing this zombie with her bare hand. And then she pulled it out. I'm like, oh, all right. I was like, but I mean, that would have been me. I thought, yeah. And then she grabs the White Walker by the
Just
by the
rips out
neck,
his throat.
and they're like, how did you get in here? Like, fucking intern. Here's your coffee. Yeah. So when they meet up, Barrick, the Hound, and Arya, that's probably like what, hour and 20 minute episode, and then that was probably halfway through,
Yeah.
and then
It was like an hour and 40.
The episode?
Yeah. It was like a minute, hour 38 or something like that.
oh damn.
Yeah.
So that probably was like halfway that scene where they all meet up in the hallways and they eventually go to that room.
Right.
So yeah, when they go to that room, and then she's like, the Red Woman's like, basically like, this man served his purpose. The only reason he came back 6 times was to do that.
Right.
And then she was like, Arya was still kind of like, and then she was like, what do we say to the face or the god of
Yeah.
death? And then she's like, not today. And she just booked it. Well, she mentioned the brown eyes,
Right.
blue. I don't know if this was in order. I think it was in order. Was brown eyes, green eyes, and blue eyes. And then she was like, yeah, blue eyes. And then she just ran. I kind of didn't really think too much into it. I was just kind of like, watching that episode, I wasn't really like, all right, who had brown eyes that shit, like, you know, like doing that during the episode. It was just more of just like watching it as a viewer. So she ran off in the middle of the episode, and then you don't see her obviously to the end. But yeah, when Melisandre said that about, what do we say to the god of death or whatever, and Arya ran away, I thought she was just gonna do one of these, and it's just fucking Syrio. He's like,
Right.
because Syrio's back and shit.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I'm glad that they basically brought him back, like, without bringing him back.
Yeah.
By them fucking referencing that scene where he says that, and
Yeah, he's fucking
then
dead.
sacrifices himself for her or whatever, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's such. They did so many like full circle, like where the best line, like the most moving line in a scene is like a previous line from other episodes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like so many full circle like storylines just coming back around in this episode.
So this is after that part. This is where the episode really kind of breaks up a lot
Right.
between characters, and then it starts focusing a little bit more on the crypts, because at this point, well, before like it gets into it with the crypts, like that scene that we're gonna talk about is just the fucking the everybody, this old women and the children and Sansa and Tyrion just hearing
Yeah.
the fucking soldiers at the door
And then just
screaming. Yeah, not letting them in. It's like, shut up.
Right. Shh.
Shut up, leave.
Yeah, they'll leave.
They'll get out of here. Yeah, so they focus on that, kind of brought back the whole Crips, what's going on there. And then it kind of goes back to...
I do like the scene, though, when Sansa finally goes to the Crips after Arya tells her to go.
No.
And then, like, Tyrion just kind of looks at... Everybody's just kind of looking at her like for kind of, like, some kind of word.
Like, how's it going out there?
Like, she just gives them, like, a look like, we're fucked, pretty
Yeah.
much. Like,
She's just kind of sweating a little bit.
Right.
Just kind of like, I was just outside and I'm sweating. How do you think it's going?
right. Right.
Fuck. Give me that bag of wine. Yeah, so then they kind of go back to that, the Crips, and then montage and stuff. And then the Night King, he fell off his dragon.
Clumsy fella.
Nah, that's going to happen. And then Dany tries fucking setting him on fire, and I don't know, maybe I missed it before, or I guess it just didn't need to be proven that he's immune to fire.
Right. What do you mean it didn't need to be proven?
Well,
No, that was the proving of it. That was what that was.
oh, I thought it was something. I don't know. Like what I meant was like in past seasons, somebody might have mentioned like, yeah, fire can kill him.
Right.
I don't know if that was ever said.
Well, the only thing that they said
As far as him was, they asked Bran if fire can kill him, and he said, "Well, nobody's tried." That's the only thing that
Okay.
the only foreshadowing for like fire affecting
him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, he falls.
Somebody watched the Game of Thrones episode Revealed.
Thriller or night. Yeah. All in one, baby.
I watched that too, Taiki, and I don't think they pulled off the idea that they were going for, because it goes thriller or suspense to battle to horror and then back to action or battle.
Did you guys for a second think he was a reborn Targaryen? No.
I think that's still up in the air.
Yeah.
Dude. I think we're gonna get a spin-off series.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they're doing a spin-off series about like the first men and shit, and like Bran the Builder. I think
Right.
Walsh was saying like
Right.
that thousands and thousands of years ago, explaining the Night King. So, yeah,
Right.
I mean,
We might get some fucking. I feel like we're gonna get some actual info in a different series.
this shit's like what the first men.
I feel like we don't need that information. Like enough. Like it's like it would be cool if we got like, but we don't really need to hear that in this series. Like I'd rather have that shit be revealed later on, because it was like such a mystery most of what was going on
Yeah.
until you find out that he just wanted to erase the world's memory, which is fucking brutal.
Straight metal. So yeah, he falls off the fucking dragon, and then Dany can't light him on fire, and then what does? Is that when Jon comes running from fucking 14 miles away?
Yeah, he just like starts booking it towards him for whatever reason.
He's like,
He the whole time I was thinking like, dude.
So hey man,
Yeah, right.
me too. But sometimes,
Dude, like storytelling is best when you leave that stuff up in the air, dude. Like that, my favorite stuff is stuff where the big questions like that, or not necessarily like that, but bigger questions in the series are not fully explained, dude. That's where I really get the replay value in my head. That's where I really like start crunching scenarios in my head and thinking about what is the reason, like, you know what I mean? Just scenarios. Like I'm always thinking about
fucking
good storytelling like that, dude. Like it has to have like, you can't just give all the answers, dude.
David Chase, the creator and writer. Of The Sopranos.
Lost fucking sucks, dude.
Lost.
That was
Never seen it.
strictly due to the writer's strike, dude. That's what made Lost turn into
Shitty.
a hot pile of garbage, dude. When a show has no idea where the show is going, it turns to trash, dude, and that's a prime example.
David Chase, fucking the writer and
It
creator.
wasn't like a calculated, ambiguous ending for Lost. It was just like, we don't fucking know, so let's. We don't fucking know either, dude. So whatever.
Plus, it was on ABC, so. The dude, fucking David Chase, the creator and writer for fucking The Sopranos, how that series ended. People were like, "What happens?" For years, like, "What happened? What
Right.
happened?" He's like, "It's up to you."
Right. That's the fucking that's the whole
But
reason for an ending like that.
But there's obviously like throughout the series, there's foreshadowing and explanations that
Lead you to
give
believe.
the answer what happens. But he's just basically like, "Fucking asking me this, man."
Right.
I know what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he fucking was running at the Night King from like a half mile away, and then I don't know, I don't know, I didn't even know what to think at that point when he reanimated all those.
Yeah. I was
Dudes.
just like, what a bitch, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what a bitch, dude. You really gonna do this right now?
He's like, go get him, boys.
One thing I don't get is why didn't he kill John? Like, why didn't he make sure John died there? I don't get why he didn't do that.
was
Just
being
because
cocky.
just because he doesn't care. You thought who was dead? John? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I did too. But I mean,
Honestly, what if they were just like, yeah, the White Walkers winning. Everybody that was at Winterfell's dead, and now it's gonna focus on Cersei. And what if they were just like, I mean,
It's
leaving it's poor to do that,
it's
but
just
like
2 episodes of her just bossing fucking people around.
she just goes. It's like a whole episode of her like fucking redecorating of a part of the castle and shit. It's like, oh my god, what is this?
It's literally like a montage fucking episode. Like
It's
her,
like, and like her and Euron are painting room, and he's just like, they're painting. He's just like, and she's like, and there's just the mountains back there, just like this.
yeah. He's
Like,
like, rubbing her belly and shit. He's like,
That's just a fucking montage.
So you guys think that Jamie's gonna get pissed because she's gonna try to say that Jamie's kid is fucking Euron's, and that's what's gonna be the driving force for him to finally kill her? Maybe. I'm trying to think of how that will really play into effect, other than like what is the reason for her concocting that in her head about him saying he's gonna put a prince in there, and then her knowing she has a kid in there, and then her looking all fucking like she's plotting. I'm trying to think of what that could be, you know? Like, I don't know.
So Jamie's just gonna show up at fucking King's Landing, and Euron's gonna be like, yeah, it's my kid. And they're gonna start beefing, and Jamie
It's gonna get all weird.
somebody call Mari. Qyburn's the new Mari.
They should just do a spin-off show where like they just have joint custody, where Jamie's got to drop the kids off to Euron, and Euron's like, Euron's listening to him
Yeah,
in the car and shit.
fucking car.
Yeah, they got cars now.
Oh man, Qyburn's been working on cars and shit.
That's one thing that this show is like kind of missing. Is like
Cars?
even in fantasy, there's like kind of in some fantasy there's like the element of like the machinist, you know, like the fucking somebody who really is good at putting together
Machines, even back in this time, you know, like somebody who's super smart. Like maybe Qyburn could be that person in this series. You know what I mean? Someone who's like really like the mad scientist or mad, you know what I mean? Like,
Mad engineer.
Like same, you know what I mean?
He
That'd
did
be
that
cool.
that thing that Bronn used on the dragon.
Oh yeah, I guess that's the closest thing we're gonna
Yeah.
get to something like that.
Really, the one really spent too much time on the mountain.
Right. Mechanism, then.
So moving on in that episode, everybody gets reanimated, and then it's just kind of like, all right. Then we start focusing more on the White Walkers moving in on the tomato basil garden with Bran and Theon, and
He did the dragon thing. What's that?
I think that's what the fucking engineer Qyburn that Bronn used.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He did the dragon thing.
Uh,
Just out of, like, if I never said that, like saying Qyburn made that, and Taiki was just like, he did the dragon thing. It's like, what?
right.
What part was that?
That's where I was like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, there's dragons, dude.
Fucking, have you seen the show? So he starts. Oh yeah, they start moving forward on Theon, and then just one by one. What's Theon's house again?
Greyjoy.
Greyjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the soldiers start dying and shit. But fucking that one part where he just goes down
Runs
to
out of
arrows. He's just like, heh, and looks up and just like,
Didn't he fucking hit one with a bow? he was just like,
yeah. He ran up and he was just
Okay.
like,
that bow's gonna snap as soon as you do that,
Mm.
buddy.
Yeah, I mean, before we get into the garden scene, was there? Oh yeah, in the crypts. Yeah, didn't want to miss this. When everybody gets reanimated, all the fucking dead Starks just
Yeah.
bust through and then start eating.
I was thinking, like, I thought there was gonna be like.
That's where the piano music started. I almost cried.
Right. I thought there was gonna be more to that. Like, you're gonna see like a note, like a
Headless Ned.
like yeah, or like a noticeable like any Stark or something. You know, anything. It's like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, cause
Like all that talk about getting Ned's bones returned and like.
that's where they bury all the Starks
Right.
and
But
shit.
they're like they made a big point to like not only say that. There's a scene where like he delivers the bones. I can't remember who delivers it, but I think it's Tyrion.
Was it Peter Baelish?
Oh yeah.
Wasn't it?
Maybe I think it was. Yeah.
Because he's such a wormy fuck.
Right.
He was like, if I bring this,
Right.
then all my plans will suck out together. Lyanna would have been cool.
Dude, Taiki, I'd seriously cried, dude, during that part. I was like, dude, all I wanted was some sort of redemption for Theon, dude. And it felt so good, dude. I was like, dude, I wish I had a brand that could say that to me, dude.
Yeah, so at this point at the crypts, like, they come alive, the dead, like the dead Starks, and it's just fucking chaos. And then
Oh yeah, Lyanna Stark, yeah.
Sa-
That would have been cool. Like any of them.
they bury the wolves down there, like little Rickon and shit.
Yeah, I think Rickon's down there. He died long enough ago to where he could
Still-
maybe still be
Notable.
right. Look, we could maybe tell them apart.
Yeah, maybe they'll show like
I'm kind of glad they didn't do that though, because that's just like, all right, cool. Like,
they're just like, all right, you're dying again. Was
yeah,
Rickon.
Rickon, dude.
Dude, yeah, when Sansa and fucking Tyrion were behind the tomb, and then the music, the piano shit started, I was like, all right. And then it started doing a montage of like Jon with what's that dragon, Visceron?
Yeah.
And then everybody like Jaime Brienne, Podrick fighting.
How many close calls can you get, by the way, where
Mm.
you go out in the open where a dragon is and you somehow, or right, you just manage to get behind the brick wall, even though, dude, the dragon fire is supposed to melt stone, dude. It's supposed to just melt it, dude.
Yeah, he's
nothing.
he's like the main character from the original Metal Gear Solid, just really fucking
right. It's like, huh.
barrel rolling and shit. Dude, when they were showing the montage of all the different characters in a fucked situation, and they were starting that piano music, I was like, I don't know, man. I was like, this is probably it. And when they
Right.
got back to Sansa and Tyrion, and they were just like looking at each other, and just kind of like Tyrion was just giving this kind of smile, and like what he kissed her hand,
Right.
and then she pulled out the blade. I'm like, oh fuck, that's about to happen.
Yeah, I was like, is this really gonna go down? Is this how we're gonna lose some characters right now?
I was like, two fucking like for sure in the top 5 main characters are about to just fucking slice
With
their
all that
wrist.
shit going on, they still managed to find fucking time to like basically ship those two characters. Like they're gonna be together by the end of this, I'm sure. Like,
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
Yeah, they fucking I thought they were gonna commit suicide. I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, that's pretty brutal, but understandable.
right.
And since it's a montage, and that fucking piano, goddamn, that fucking song, it's going on, and then it clips back to Theon and Brandon, and Theon just kind of turns around. He's just like, what do we do?
Right.
That look. And fucking, Theon turns back to the Night King because he appears, and Bran just is like, Theon, you're a good man. Thank you. And then, yeah, that's it. Theon would just
He just
grabbed his weapon and full charge it. I don't know, like,
maybe try like a pump fake or something, dude.
Yeah.
On your way in there, maybe give a little fake. Maybe you'll try to
Yeah.
instead of just completely telegraphing your move from 30 feet away, just running full speed at him.
I don't know, this might sound crazy, but I fucking love that he ran full speed.
Yeah, I do too, man.
Yeah.
It was like
He-
he's gonna do it no matter what, you know.
Yeah, like, you're dead.
Right.
What are you gonna do? Fucking, there's not much you can do. So it was almost like you said, and it's obvious watching that show. He has that closure for
Right.
sure now, because fucking he. took over the castle, and Bran was like,
Back in the day, little ass Bran was like, "Have you hated us the whole time, Theon?"
Right.
And then when he said, "You're a good man, thank you," it was kind of like Theon was like, "All right," turned around, was just like
facing death, and was just like, "Fuck it." Like,
I wonder if Theon thought that when he said thank you, that he was gonna. He's like, dude, that means I'm probably gonna kill him when I do this. Like,
Nah.
he's like, he said thank you. That means I probably saved the day, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna go do this.
Yeah, he's like, "Theon, you're a good man. Thank you." And Theon's like, "Oh, thank you." And he's
he's
just
like-
staring at him for like 5 minutes. Like they're shooting back and forth, like Bran looking at Theon and Theon looking at Bran for like
He's like,
back and forth for 5 minutes. And it's just like, Theon's like, "You gonna do
he's
something?"
like,
And Bran's
"Can I do
like,
something?
"Oh, no." Theon's like, "Oh,
Okay.
is this about the whole castle thing like 8 years ago, man?"
Oh, he should have. He should have said that. But that would have taken away from the whole thing of like at the end of the day, he fought for the Starks. He's a Stark at the end of the day. So, you know what I mean? I feel like that's what that was saying at the end. Like at the end of the day, he was choosing to fight for the Stark. So why would he say a Greyjoy?
I can
even though there's
yeah.
some closure with his sister and stuff.
I can
No
understand.
reason not to.
Yeah. Also, I can understand why Taiki said that, because in my head that would have been like the first episode, Bran practicing everybody's house mottos and shit.
Yeah.
I think he said the Greyjoy's motto.
Oh yeah.
So he was like with the old mate. Was he the maester, the old dude
Yeah.
in the first season?
Lewin.
yeah.
So Lewin.
Yeah, he was practicing it with Bran, but yeah, he was. He's just like, "So you're not gonna do anything, Bran?" He's like, "No,
Right.
there's nothing I can do."
He's like, dude, I'm in a fucking wheelchair, dude. What do you?
He's
want
like,
me to
"Yeah, hold on. You want to push me,
do?" Right.
you dick?" And then Theon just snaps back into old Reek. He's like,
Right.
"This. What if he killed Bran, Theon, and turned
Yeah,
around?"
he's just-
And he was like, "So Night King, we cool?"
Yeah, he's like,
Night King's like, "Oh,
you
no."
don't have a dick, dude.
He's like, "Sorry, only men in my army." He's like, "That's totally untrue. It's totally untrue." So Theon, it's not even sacrificing at that point. It's just Theon basically.
I mean,
facing-
it was, but yeah.
Yeah,
But
I guess it
I'm
draws a
trying
little
to
bit of
think,
time.
like, does that prime the Night King to be ready for Sansa, or not Sansa, Arya? But since Theon wasn't available, that extra move, you know what I mean? Does that what allowed Arya to sneak it by? Because like, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically the same thing happened, other than one was from behind and one wasn't. He stopped the attack and then
Yeah.
killed the motherfucker. He did, like, you know what I mean? But did like maybe him throwing himself out there first give him like I don't know what's the word, like he felt more like confident in the fact after he caught Arya, you know what I mean, and not
Yeah.
worrying about getting stabbed from underneath or whatever. I don't know.
Hmm.
I know for sure that he definitely gave enough time for Arya to show up, so that in that way he redeemed. Like, he is a savior in that regard.
Yeah,
but I'm
Theon.
just saying, I'm wondering if it goes further. Like, maybe the reason why she was able to even get it past him was because Theon wasn't able to, you know? Like,
Oh yeah,
like, I don't know.
Theon kind of. I feel like what you're saying with Theon.
Yeah, false sense of security. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Theon like killed some time for Arya.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely for sure. That's
Yeah.
unarguable for
Yeah.
sure. I was just wondering, maybe, like, I was trying to add more to the meaning of it, but probably not really.
Bran was like, when the Night King just walked up, Bran was just like,
I know, he's like, Perio.
he's like, "Okay, what of it?" And then, dude, that was, it was cool because they showed the Night Kings. They're not White Walkers. They're like the fucking
They're like
wizard-looking
the
zombies.
actual whites or whatever.
Oh, white. Yeah, okay. And you
Or
see
those
his-
are the White Walkers, and the other ones are just undead, right? Pretty much.
I think.
Like the ones that will fucking shatter when you hit them with Valerian, like those, you know what I mean? Like the ones he turns into whites, the babies that grow up to be his main soldiers, like the ones that handed him the spear that he used to kill the dragon.
Dragon,
like
yeah.
Those dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah. Though I think those are the White Walkers, and everything else is just undead. Like,
Oh, okay.
that's what I think, at least. But anyways, what were you?
So yeah, like, so Theon dies, and then
Rip.
he the Night King walks up to Bran, and they do a couple of shots.
All right.
The White Walkers are his generals, okay, and the Horde is with the Whites, okay. I'm finding this out in the fight. We got 3 episodes left. And so yeah, they do a couple of shots of the Night King and Bran, and then they show that one White Walker, and you see his hair just, and then they go back to the. I stopped it, rewind it, and then when the White Walker's hair did that, I was like, I looked around, I was like, because they didn't put anything to it. It's fucking wind.
Right.
So when this hair made that sound, and it showed the White Walker with that shot, like that close up shot with him about to grab his fucking sword, and all of a sudden the Arya came out of nowhere, and he turned around real quick.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she caused the.
Right. Oh. Shit.
Right? That's what I took it as, Taiki. The on the White Walker's
I didn't
hair was
think-
Arya fucking kind of leaping over, because the next shot was
I didn't think about that, dude.
because the Night King was fucking grabbing that shit the very next scene after his hair did. That's what.
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch it to see, but yeah, that makes sense, dude. I didn't really notice that.
And then when she came out of nowhere yelling, probably don't do that next time, Arya. Probably don't yell before you attack
Right.
somebody. What the fucking jockin'? What did jockin' fucking teach you? You know,
Right.
besides how to maintain your hair.
Dude, so Mike in the kitchen has been saying constantly that he thinks that the faceless men are gonna have this huge role. Like, they don't just do all that for nothing, which is like definitely right.
But it's just confirmed that what I said to him was basically like, yeah, it's like, I think their role was like having Arya,
Like, her using that to become who she is, and then it pays off even more, like to the level that he was talking about. It when she's the one that kills him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes the faceless men up on par with how he was putting them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it makes them as important as he thinks they were, which is cool.
So now that we're on the basically final scene, Night King turns around and grips her like perfectly, and dude, I was just like, all right, what is going on now?
Right.
Like, pretty bad position, but obviously she has the knife, and he has her neck and her fucking wrist. Probably might want to fucking slap the wrist,
Right.
walk away. Fucking basic taekwondo. She dropped the knife, and I was like, oh no. And then she was just like, and stabbed him in the same spot that the fucking Children of the Forest did,
Yeah.
and just demised him. Like,
One cool thing about that was the foreshadowing of that move. Basically, when she basically does that to Brienne in the courtyard when they're sparring.
oh shit,
Yeah.
huh?
Right.
I showed you you guys showed me that. That's awesome. Thanks. Damn, dude, I didn't even fucking notice that.
Yeah.
That last scene between Bran, Arya, there was a couple of things. Fuck, I think I lost one of them. Maybe it'll come back. But one of them was, I think it was sometime in season 7. Because Arya comes back to Winterfell, like, towards the end of season 7, right? Yeah, because she fucking kills Lord Baelish.
Yeah.
Dude, right off rip, when she fucking stabbed him with, I forgot the name of that blade that she killed
Right.
homeboy with, that,
With the dragon hilt and stuff.
yeah, the knife that started all the
Right.
shit from episode 1. That shit was fucking dope because Bran gave her that knife. And
Right.
she was like, why do I need this? And
Right.
he's like, well, whatever belongs. I don't know if he said it belongs to you or something. But he just basically pulled it out season 7 and was like, have this or whatever. Let's just say that. Have this.
Was that the knife that she used? Or I thought
Yeah.
Or was it?
Yeah.
I thought that was the knife that she gave to Sansa. Or she just gave her some random knife.
I think that she just gave him some. I feel like maybe I was just overthinking the
Right.
foreshadowing, but I feel like the knife that.
I feel like it would be so much more, like, better if she used that knife, is what I'm saying. But I thought she gave it to Sansa.
Huh. Yeah, I thought that knife that she used to kill the Night King was the knife that Bran gave to Arya in
That's what I hope
season
it is, but
7.
I thought she gave it to Sansa, but
Yeah.
I'm probably wrong, really.
Which is the same knife that Lord Baelish fucking gave to that dude to kill Bran in the second episode or some shit of the series. Oh, I don't know. This is something I read, but did Bran say? Somebody asked what can kill the Night King, and Bran was like, no one, or something like that. No one can kill the Night King, or something like that.
Well, I don't know.
What can kill the Night King? He was like, no one can kill the Night King.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe somebody's trolling online.
I was gonna say, I feel like I would have remembered him saying.
Yeah. Because the motherfucker.
I think I would remember him saying no one can, because that seems like such a definitive, like.
Yeah. Motherfucker's lying.
Right.
But yeah, the blade.
To be honest, if I'm thinking about it, and I think about the hype around Arya and like how, no, she's just a really lovable character. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? But then I'm like, I could see how the way I analyze like film and shows and stuff, I would be like, man, that's kind of whack. But dude, it felt so good for having her be the one to do it. I don't know why, but it's just like it just works, dude. Yeah. Well, I'll have to rewatch that because I thought that was the knife she gave Sansa. So maybe that was the end of her dragon glass like weapon she had made, but it didn't look like a knife. Like
what is it? Valerian and
get back to that one.
Valerian and dragon glass, right? Kills obviously, and then the fucking Valerian, that blade that Lord Baelish gave that hitman or whatever to kill Bran in the second episode, that was Valerian, right? Yeah, because Tyrion mentioned it or some shit.
Yeah, that's
like
why I'm saying like it has to be that blade.
Yeah,
that she had to have just given Sansa like a regular ass fucking.
Yeah, because the dragon glass is like that deep purple, like black color, and then
green fucking,
and then the Valerian blade.
It just like looks like a blade. Really.
Steel, yeah. But totally skipped it over. R.I.P. Ser Jorah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
R.I.P. all of House Mormon,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah. Badass house. Fucking, right. I forgot his name, but Jorah's dad.
Yeah. What was his name?
Jeor.
Jeor, yeah.
Yeah. Jeor Mormont. Fucking Lyanna's mom. Lyanna herself. Dude, I said it to you last night after watching it, because I didn't watch it till late after work, but I was like, man, fucking House Mormont, 200 motherfuckers.
Right.
And, like, the damage they've done.
Right.
Like, Jorah saving Daenerys, and then fucking Lyanna, like, taking out the giant,
right.
especially being 4'7".
Bear
Island. And then Jeor just being a fucking... showing basically the first, like, father figure after Ned when Jon gets shipped up there and shit and going through some serious shit. He was the first dude, really.
Right.
And Jon obviously avenging his death and shit. And it all ties in, too, with Sam, man. Like,
right.
Fucking Sam, that's why it's an obvious bummer Jorah dying, just the character he is and shit. Probably the most loyal motherfucker on that show.
Yeah. And like dude at grayscale,
right?
And then basically gets skinned by Sam, and then he's like, all right, I gotta go.
Right.
And then 2 seasons later, he's just to the fucking death. Just.
Dude, I tell you what, dude, that felt so good when she fell off her horse, and like I'm like, oh no. I'm like, Dany's finally getting in some trouble here.
Yeah.
And then fucking Jorah just comes to the rescue, dude. I was like, oh my god. I was like, this show's too fucking good, dude.
Dude,
like, it's like stuff that you would think of, but it's just like you're totally fine with it. Like when it happens, you're like, you know what I mean? I could have thought of this, but it's like, dude, it's perfect. Like,
dude, Taiki. I was thinking the same thing because Jorah, he obviously led the fucking Dothrakis in like the first 10 minutes of that episode.
And somehow he was able to retreat.
Yeah, I didn't think about it when we started this episode, but like when he retreated too, dude, his face was just death. He was just like,
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for the final time.
Yeah, all jokes aside, like fucking friend zone and shit. Like, dude, you're like 60, dude.
Yeah, dude. What are you
Yeah.
even thinking, dude?
Can you give her a kid? Can you even fuck right? No. But yeah, all jokes aside, he's like top 5 favorite character, and him coming back like out of that mist and shit. Dude, I remember just seeing his face, and I was like, well Jorah's not a liar.
Right. Right.
Dude, seen some shit in there.
Yeah,
For
dude.
sure, yeah.
There's a fucking Bear Island. There's a fucking. My girl was telling me about some theory that Lyanna was actually like Tormund's love child, because you know, like the bear that he fucking had sex with or whatever.
Oh, really?
It's supposed to actually just be like not a bear, but like, you know, someone from House Mormont.
Yeah.
But it's just some fucking poorly fucking thought up fucking. I just like the idea that he actually didn't fucking ever a bear or whatever.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Fucking a bear. You think there's a like a gay S&M bar somewhere in New York City called Bear Island?
Probably.
Just like a leather bar. Because Gio Mormont, the dude that plays him, definitely looks like he's just in there like
with his armor on and shit.
yeah. And then the next day he's hungover, and they're like trying to write his character, like explain to him his character. He's like, so yeah, your character Gio Mormont, he comes from a island. He's like, he's hungover as shit. He's like, what's the island called? He's like, it's called Grizzly Islands. He's like, you know what? Let's call it Bear Island. And he just puts a smile on his face and looks in the camera, all like,
Right.
gay and stuff. He's like, and the techno plays in the background. It's like, poots, poots.
Yeah, I'm so glad that fucking that theory is gone, dude. Bran is the Night King, dude. I've been hearing that shit since fucking God knows when, dude. I'm so glad that shit's over with.
When the Night King went up to Bran, I thought the Night King was like gonna fucking pull his fate. Like,
Right.
I was like, is this where?
Right.
'Cause I didn't know if it, like
Jack
he-
and Hagar.
I was like, oh.
Dude, fucking yeah.
Dude, honestly, I'm glad that Jon Snow didn't kill the fucking Night King, because it's like just.
Same here, but I thought they were gonna do that just because of like, I don't know.
I saw somebody on the book. I don't know if it was Instagram or the book. They're like, oh no, it was Facebook, because they're a friend of mine, and one of their friends, I don't know who it was, commented. He's like, I really wanted a one-on-one Jon Snow and fucking Night King. It's like, you weren't happy with
Right.
what happened. You weren't happy with Theon.
Right.
How you want? All right, so everything that happened.
They could have given like. All right. Sorry to cut you.
No,
off,
no, you're
but
fine.
They could have like given us. I'm glad they didn't, because it just kind of amalgamated two real cool scenes from previous like seasons basically into one.
Yeah.
But like, it would have been cool to see them like fight and then like him get away in some weird way, like something happens to where he somehow is able to get away. But I like what they did, dude. Even though he brought them back like a bitch again, dude.
Yeah, like to the person, or I know it's people, probably millions of fucking people are like, well, I like the episode, but I really wanted Jon Snow one-on-one with Night King. Like, okay, one, it's the Night King. Two, like, Jon Snow, I mean, yeah, like, I get he's the main character, but like, I don't know, the whole episode, that was like the last 5 minutes of the episode.
Right.
Now you gotta redo the whole episode, like,
Right.
so you're totally unsatisfied with the episode. That's like going through my head. It's like,
Right.
because you wanted one-on-one.
Right.
You-
Yeah.
Like,
I see. I think it's perfect the way they did it, because they tease you with it, and then
exactly.
then you don't get it. But that's the thing, though, dude, is they don't even show the Night King do anything besides raise the dead and just go around.
He's just a big bitch.
Right.
Like, he raised the dead. He's like, oh fuck, he's getting. Hey,
Right.
guys,
Come on.
come on. He's like, you kicking the
It
dead.
would have
He's
been
like,
sweet to see him cut down his way to somewhere, dude. Like, if he got to cut his way through the crowd to get to the Weirwoods, dude, that would have been dope, dude. Him just slicing through with his ice blade, dude. That would have been tight. But, I mean, I see why they didn't.
yeah, that was the. So that was the episode, really.
Yeah.
Um,
Couple.
I didn't see Gendry. I saw him like once.
Yeah, he was, like, at
And-
the front of the line at first, and then, like... Yeah.
Maybe R.I.P. Ghost.
No,
Because he was on the front lines.
yeah, he was in the preview for the next.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. I normally don't watch those, but. And like they pretty much leave you on a, like, what was it, Rhaegal? The dragon that John rides? Rhaegal? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah. They show him beefing it pretty hard on the ground. He hits the ground. And then they don't really show anything after that from him. So it's like, what? Like, is he okay? Like, is he, like, flying around? Like, they don't even show anything. Like,
Yeah, so...
what happens to him? Like,
so...
Drogon, Dany's dragon, the main dragon, he was getting attacked by all those,
Tons of them.
Yeah.
First of all, how dumb you have to be, Danny? Just sitting there like...
yeah, she was just like...
She was just like, oh.
she's like, oh. Just sitting there, dude. What was she even looking at? Was he even, like...
She, like, just zoned out.
Right.
She, like, she didn't take her meds that day. She was just, like, ADHD. She's like,
Is
that moon looks really nice.
Right.
Speaking of, that shot was fucking dope.
Yeah, when they're above the clouds.
Yeah.
The clouds are, like, swirling underneath them and shit.
Yeah, that shot was dope. And I saw a lot of memes, like, somebody was like, I'd like to thank the moon, Drogon, Visceron, Rhaegal, and Melisandre for shedding some light on this dark ass episode.
For real though.
I was like, yeah, like, yeah, the initial battle and stuff, everything going on and how dark it was. I was like this, like, I was already on the edge of my fucking seat, but I was already like this on the edge of my seat, and then I was just like, what's going on?
It'll probably be the last episode, dude. If that happens, if they go that route.
Dude, honestly, Dany, like,
He's gonna have to kill her, dude, because she's just gonna she's gonna turn into her dad, I'm sure. I don't know, man.
I don't even, honestly, like, all the talk leading up to this third episode, because we knew that the third episode was going to be what it was, like, the war. Like, the first episode, so basically, like, 3 weeks or whatever, knowing that it was going to be that battle between the living and the dead. There's so many ideas going through my head and other people's heads and talking. And then as the episode was going, I was like, oh, is it going to happen? And it kind of, like, it didn't ruin the episode, but it kind of was like, oh, when's that going to happen? I'm, like, thinking, like,
Right.
who confirmed that?
Right.
Like, it's not, like, a for sure thing. It's just a bunch of motherfuckers talking. So these last 3 episodes, I'm just going to be like, hey, whatever happens, man, roll.
Right.
Like, and now, anytime somebody, like, besides on the podcast, obviously, but anytime somebody's going to be like, hey, Kenan, do you think I'm just be like, shut up.
Right.
Because
right.
I don't even want it. Like, it kind of, like.
It just ends up being the same, like, same, like, 7 points of view about what's going to happen, because everybody goes online and looks up what the latest theories are, and then they just spew those out of their fucking face, dude.
Yeah. Like, the whole brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes. Like, I just wasn't looking. Obviously, I wasn't. Probably shouldn't say obviously, because nobody would really know about me, but I wasn't looking for it. But, like, people were posting shit like, Cersei has green eyes. Right. I'm like, why are you, like, just let it happen. Like, whatever it is, just let it happen.
I will be, like...
People are photoshopping her eyes now.
Wait, while I'm not upset that fucking Arya kills the Night King, I would be upset if she's the one that kills Cersei. Even though it would be good... It'd be foreshadowing when she's with those Lannister soldiers, and she's like, I'm gonna go kill the queen or whatever. And, like, she's on her list for sure. But it's like, dude, you gonna give all the kills to Arya? Like, really? Come on now. Like,
that's my thing about, like... It goes back to my thing about Jon one-on-one with the Night King. It's like, you can give Jon all that shit. Ramsay, the fucking hard home scenes.
right.
Like, I get, like, he's in that position most of the... Obviously, but, like...
Right.
Now we're going to just give it to Arya, too?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like Jon was at least dealing with all that shit face to face.
Right.
She was gone training half the fucking series, dude, you know? And then, not saying, like, she wasn't affected by anything, but I'm saying, like, she's gone half the series training, and then, like, she just gets, like, the coolest fucking shit, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Well, all that shit was for... So, hold on. Is she that princess, the promised king? Like, they thought it was a dude? The
Is
promised
there a high
prince?
or
Yeah.
whatever?
Is she?
I don't know. Like, does she bring...
Because that whole training shit with her going to fucking Bravos and stuff, that shit was... All that was... I'm interpreting it as for her stabbing the Night King. Like,
Right.
like 3rd season and shit.
For sure.
And then the whole her meeting Melisandre for the first time, like, in the 3rd season. and just the shit Melisandre said to her, like, yeah, we'll meet again and stuff, and or you're gonna kill people or some shit, and her going to Bravos and learning all that, and everything she learned going back to the Battle of Winterfell and using all that, and A-worms.
For real? We thought we were having that issue, dude.
I can't hear my snare.
I wonder why that is. Oh, that's weird. I don't know. I'll fix it later. I appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, the Prince of Zorro or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Azor Ahai. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of other things that go along with that prophecy that she does not fulfill. So it's like, I don't know.
Right. I just wasn't even like sure.
Right.
Because I never really read.
A prince who was promised.
Yeah, I never really read too much into that. But now, the next 3 episodes is basically going to be the focus on, obviously, the throne.
Right.
So they broke that up 6 episodes first.
The director who directed this last episode directed episode 5 too. So I feel like we're gonna get a battle there too at some point.
Oh, the Miguel dude?
Yeah.
So he did
Episode 3, 5, and he did the Battle of Bastards
and
and
Hard
shit.
Home.
Yeah.
Huh. Damn, then it's kind of like, what's episode 6 all about?
It's probably just a full blown wrap up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's how they do with every season. It's like the main huge points of action or like plot pushing like points happen like second to last episode, and then the last episode is like setting up for new plot points and stuff. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay, because now, yeah, because if that dude's doing season or the episode 5, and then you got episode 6, it's gonna be what's the word? Fuckery,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, because some serious shit can go down without a big battle. You know
Right.
what I mean? A lot of
They're
one-on-one.
not just gonna wrap it up pleasantly. There's gonna be some shit, some loose ends for sure. There has to be.
Yeah.
Right.
They just book.
There's still a lot that they set up just this season that has to resolve itself, let alone the whole series.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I thought that episode was fucking really, really good.
Yeah. Same.
They did it really well because, like I said earlier, thinking about it, I was like, fuck, an hour and 20 minutes of
And all
battles.
every like, I won't say scenes because there's hardly scenes in it. There are, but like, I don't know. I'd say every beat is like it ups itself. You're like, man, that was crazy. And now a dragon fight. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Here we go, dude.
So-
at the edge of my seat, dude.
We should probably pull it up because we got pretty. I meant like on my phone. My bad. Damn, I was like, what, motherfucker?
Yeah.
We did that pool, right?
Oh yeah.
Did you look at it afterwards? I'm fucked. I
I'm
think.
fucked too, dude.
Yeah, I think I'm fucked.
Right.
I know it's like at the end of season 8, but like, I feel that I was like, White Walker, because again, everybody was talking about who's gonna get fucking murdered. So when I filled that out, I was like, thinking that the White Walkers were gonna go to season or episode 6.
Right.
So I was like, this person's a White Walker dead. This person's a White Walker.
Right.
And now it's just like, and you told me after I fill out, you're like, you sure?
Right.
Because you lose points on the White Walker thing if you're wrong. And I was like, yeah.
Right.
Nobody's beating that Night King. And he fucking turned out to be a puh. No, he
Yeah,
did a
dude.
good job.
I fucking yeah.
I don't know, like who.
We should have went over that whole thing before we started this discussion. I kind of forgot about it.
Yeah,
We
I
should have, like talked about
Yeah,
how
but
many points we had and stuff like that at this stage in the season.
yeah, but for anybody that listens to this or watches this, if you go to Keepin Spiel, the Instagram, you can look at it. It's our pool.
Yeah, we basically are doing a Game of Thrones death pool. So right now, both of our fucking pools are fucked.
Fuck yeah! So I'm looking at yours. You have so the White Walker. If you pick the character dying and becoming a White Walker, you lose like points or some shit, right?
If they don't become a White Walker.
Yeah, so that's out. That's obviously out of the window now. So Cersei had a White Walker, and then Tyrion, and then Daenerys, and then
It's
Jorah,
hard with the White Walkers, dude. I'm like everybody's
Podrick, Tormund, Gendry, Lyanna. Oh, you were right on. Yeah,
What?
she was a White Walker for like 6.5 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They
technically.
didn't show it, but
Yeah, she opened up her
Oh,
eyes.
yeah,
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 right.
yeah.
Yeah. And then my one, Bran. I had Bran as a White Walker. What the fuck was it? It was a cheeseburger that I ate.
he's just like he just pretty much turns him into white so he can have a green seer on his side for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like I don't see any other reason to keep him alive if you're him.
I picked Tyrion to be a White Walker because I felt like when he was talking to Jaime in the courtyard in the second episode, he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'd love to
Oh yeah, I
become
thought that
a."
was too. I
Yeah.
thought that was too direct for it to actually happen. But
Yeah, but I obviously picked Bran to be a White Walker, and there was really no thought process in that. I was just fucking happy to do this. Grey Worm, Tormund, Podrick, Brienne. Brienne would be a brutal fucking White Walker, but
yeah.
I picked Sam's child to be a White Walker. And then earlier in the episode, I was talking about fucking, if you're going to kill Lyanna, do it brutaler.
Right. I'm still with you on that. Whoa, Spike. He's gonna knock all those cameras over. Spike, come here, boy. Come up here.
So, yeah, we kind of botched it. I don't know who's winning. Well, I'll count them. But we still got 3 more episodes for the remaining non-White Walker character transformations.
I still got hope that some of these are gonna turn into whites.
They just pull back like, there was the baby White Walker, remember? It's like, oh my god.
Like, come on, dude.
They're like, yeah. They actually have the guy saying that as like a commentator, like, yeah. Because everybody's reaction would be like, what the fuck, a White Walker? And just like, you're watching the episode, a White Walker comes out of nowhere, and you're like, what the fuck? And it's like, yeah. Like, commentary, like, you know what? They're really good. How they
Or-
queued that up.
Fucking the mountain. I don't know. I don't fucking know, dude. I was gonna think of some fucking bullshit thing to. What if the mountain just croaked when he fucking, even though he has nothing to do, he didn't bring him back?
Did I tell you about my Qyburn theory?
What?
I think Qyburn's a fucking mole. I think he's gonna fucking
A mole?
not necessarily a mole, but more like he's really just fucking.
Spike, go on.
He's really just fucking playing Cersei like a puppet, because at Harrenhal or whatever, the Lannister army and the Mountain or whatever tried killing him, or they slaughtered everybody at Harrenhal or whatever, and Robb and Robb's future wife found him and basically saved his life, and then Robb ended up getting murdered by the Lannisters and the Freys, basically
yeah.
the Lannisters, and
Right.
then at the same time, Cersei takes Qyburn in as the queen of
Right.
the Hand of the Queen or whatever. So I feel like maybe Qyburn is like fucking like, okay, I kind of liked Robb Stark. They saved
Right.
my life. You fucking
He's like
bitch.
he's like known as the slimy fucking
Is he?
like a exiled maester from the Citadel. Like he was part of the Citadel, and they
Oh yeah, that's right. He got
so,
kicked
like, I
out
don't
and
know.
shit.
I can't see him being too like fucking
Cool.
right.
Because even the fucking old maester, the child molesting.
And plus,
I don't even
you
know if he
go
was
from
child
being
molested.
exiled as a maester in the Citadel to being the hand of the Queen in King's
Right.
Landing. I don't think you're gonna give that up fucking easily.
Why do you do this?
Fucking
No,
podcast.
I thought about. I even said that to Walsh, and Walsh was thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean it's worth
Yeah.
some thoughts.
Better than the
Bran is a white for the Night King.
Yeah. Like, dude, I'm so sick of that, dude. I'm so glad.
You could be the actual. You could be the Night King.
Right.
The Night King.
He's like, dude.
Like, dude, how much more do you need? There was like a literal scene where the Children of the Forest create the Night King, and it's not fucking Bran. Like, no, it looks nothing like Bran. Like, get over it. It's done. Like that should have been enough, I think, dude. Like,
Yeah, the dude that
did you see the emblem he had on his
Did you see?
Did you see the emblem? It was the same as the Night King. So
It was really interesting. Like, nah, it's not interesting because the Night King's gone, bud, pal.
So is that how they stopped him before? That's the thing. Like, if they stopped him before, how does he come back?
Wait,
Or the first men stopped him the first time, right? That's how that works, right? Children of the Forest, or no, they just drove him out and he just chilled for 8,000 years.
yeah,
All right.
the very first Night King,
Yeah.
and the Night King we got to know were the children of the forest.
I think I'm mixing the book and the fucking series together. So
Okay. Yeah, because
I
like,
was thinking, I think I mixed them together.
yeah, I've only read like the first book and like half of the second book because I got an early bitch. But from the series, that's what I know from like the children of the forest. Stabbed that dude in the chest.
Yeah. With dragon glass.
I kind of forgot why.
Right. It was basically they created a Night King to basically to save themselves against actual humanity. So we were cutting down all the werewolves, we as in the humans, and they retreated back into the forest and created that to combat humanity. Like they made it to combat humanity, and it just spiraled out of hand.
They created the Night King because we were cutting down trees.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Save the forest.
I'm not even gonna finish this. I'm not even gonna finish
We're
this.
done.
I don't give a shit. Delete this. Put some lime juice on the fucking computer. No, like no, don't do that. Like we could just easily delete it if that was this worst case scenario. You don't have to ruin my computer.
I do other things on this, you know.
I'm just like, you just pour. Why are you pouring it on my amp? Like, I don't know what a computer looks like, man.
Yeah.
You're sitting in front of one. No, I'm not. Quit polluting.
Yeah,
And he's just like, ow.
He's like,
That dude looks like a fucking, like a Swedish backup goalie. Like, he just got lost. He's like, I was out partying last night. I think I missed my team bus. Do you children know where, the Madison Square Garden is? They're like, you're a polluter. He's like, ugh. He's wearing leather boots. He's like, ah. What's that have to do with pollution? I'm from Sweden. Oh. That's the cutting down the. So what was it like? The werewolves were like sacred and shit
yeah,
to the children.
yeah.
Where are these children's parents at?
That's what I was wondering, dude.
Somebody answer that? Anybody? Like if who the parents are?
Let's see if this idiot figures this out. Just lay down, boy. You ain't getting out of here right now.
He's trying to leave and he's just like, where do I go? Oh man, yeah. So 3 more episodes.
How long have we been going here?
I feel like over 2.
All right, we could wrap up, I guess. Then.
So, yeah, this is our 3rd live from Podcastery Rock. Next time, I think I'll get a picture of.
Yeah, we'll have something prepared for it next time.
But yeah, this is the 3rd segment, and the first 2 didn't take up the whole 2 hours, but like, given that it was the kind of episode it was like it seemed obvious to me that it wasn't a for sure thing, but it was like, hey, if it takes up the whole podcast, I'm like, not surprised. That's cool.
Yeah, I was happy spending the whole 2 hours talking about it. I feel like I could still talk about it, but you know.
Yeah, I wish I had a cloak on though. But yeah, so we'll do this next week at what time? 7, right?
I think we're gonna move to 7. Yeah,
7 o'clock.
just to make sure everybody can get here on time. We can have it all set up and ready to go.
Mm.
Yeah, we're gonna start at 7 next week. Fucking, we're probably gonna talk a lot about Game of Thrones next week too. So there's that. We got,
the Instagram page.
Oh yeah.
Keeping it Spiel. It's.
Yeah, Keepin it Spiel at Keepin it Spiel, I guess. What's the Twitter? At Keepin it Spiel with an underscore before Spiel. So keeping it _Spiel
Mhm.
at Twitter. We got
Didn't know we had a Twitter.
yeah. We got a what else we got here?
The Facebook.
Yeah, we got a Facebook.
Straight up. The
Keepin'
URL is
Spiel.
just straight up Keepin' Spiel, right?
Yeah.
Because Facebook isn't a bitch like fucking
You can
YouTube.
search Keeping a Spiel podcast. It'll pop right up.
Keeping it Facebook.com. Keeping it Spiel podcast.
All right. Facebook.com/Keeping It Spiel podcast. All right. We got what else do we got? We have a YouTube. Subscribe to it. I'll put a link and the Facebook for it, and there'll obviously be a link to the YouTube on the YouTube for it, but
Yeah, if you go to my if you go to my Instagram, that's just my name. I got the link in the bio for the Facebook, and then I'm gonna put the YouTube one because next week we're gonna be just straight pumping them from there, right? Or is this one gonna go on the Keeping a Spiel
what the
YouTube?
this one actually I forgot to switch over to the thing.
So the YouTube isn't approved to stream today, but next week we'll stream from that YouTube.
Okay.
So we'll stream from that YouTube and it'll be better quality because when I fucking rip these
Off of my YouTube page, it brings the quality down to 720. So when we stream next week from YouTube, it will be 1080 stream. So that's the way to watch us, from YouTube live. So just for that.
Yeah, and if anybody's having seizures from the backdrop, just when you get out of the hospital, just let us know.
Yeah, let us know and we won't change it. So
Yeah, but subscribe. So everybody that just subscribe, and then if you get seizures, just listen to it. Don't look at it.
right. And then just subscribe after it. Tell other people to subscribe.
It's free.
Yeah.
So fucking between now and next Monday, for each subscribe we get, for each one I'll donate like $5 for each to
Free. It's
yeah
you're gonna donate $5 for every
subscribe
subscriber?
between now.
All right.
Yeah. I'm not rich, so I will donate that, but
Should move it to $1 just cause, dude.
$2,
All right, that's cool.
$1.
I'll throw $1 too then.
Yeah.
So it'll be $2. Oh, where's this even going? Where are we throwing it to?
My cable that you told me to get last week. The charity of this podcast. No, but I don't know. Just fucking subscribe and we'll do it.
Definitely subscribe to the YouTube. But yeah, I think we're out.
That's it.
Keeping a Spiel.
That's it.
Episode
That's all.
15.